Live from Notre Dame Stadium for the 24th year, WVFI brings you Notre Dame football. A crystalline blue sky dotted by some rather large poofy white clouds, breeze 14 miles an hour out of the northwest, temperature an Octoberish 61 degrees at Notre Dame Stadium, perhaps a metaphor for an Irish fan base that's already looking ahead into the future of what could be a historic season in Marcus Freeman's third year and the 94th of this beautiful venue, Notre Dame Stadium. The Irish coming off a Texas A&M win last weekend that opened up the opportunity for history at Notre Dame Stadium, potentially a playoff game in the eyes and minds of Irish fans in December. If you listen very, very closely, you can hear a small rumble. Listen closely. That's the sound of the echoes. They're waking up. The 94th year in this glorious building. Will it be historic? Will it be full of magic? Whatever awaits begins right now as the Irish take on Northern Illinois in their home opener. The crowd is full. The student section filled with their gold shirts. The crowd scattered with blue and green and some deeper golds, perhaps, and a little bit of red, as the folks from Northern Illinois have made the trip and running out onto the field with those gold helmets glistening in the sun. Here come the Irish. And we're so glad to have you with us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ryan Murphy, alongside my good friend Chris Dailey, who's making his maiden voyage with us here on WVFI Sports, and it's a beautiful day for football, Chris.
Yeah, well, Ryan, I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, so just honored to be with you up here in the booth, and here come the Irish indeed. Look at those helmets. They are so golden, and it is so cool to see them in person. I am grinning like a kid right now. However, there's a football game to play, and Notre Dame has a clear-cut path to the playoffs. However, they need to win out.
Absolutely. Standing in their way, a Northern Illinois team that's also feeling pretty good about themselves this year after coming off a big victory over Western Illinois. We talked about this in the pregame show. They're a veteran team with a veteran defense. They're going to try to make a statement here early, Chris.
Yeah, 100%. NIU isn't coming here just to play against Notre Dame. They're coming here to win against Notre Dame. Notre Dame, meanwhile, well, they should dominate. Their goal should be to get some of those backups in, to get these guys lower on the depth chart, some valuable minutes this early in the season. So, two very conflicting mantras right now for both teams. However, the goal is the same for both. Win, maybe for a little different reason. NIU just trying to get a huge upset win that would go down in the record books. Notre Dame, meanwhile, well, they're competing for a national championship.
They absolutely are, and you know, kind of said it there with the echoes waking up a little bit, but the talk all offseason, this is Marcus Freeman's third year. What do you think when you think of third year?
Man.
You think of Holtz. You think of Devine. You think of Parsegian. You think of... I'm blanking on the fourth coach, of course, right? Leahy. How could I forget Leahy? Leahy also won all-winning national championships in their third year. Notre Dame gets through their biggest test at Texas A&M, and then you look at the schedule, you see NIU, Purdue, Miami, 3 straight weeks of opponents Notre Dame should beat before they get a test here at home against Louisville at the end of September.
Yeah.
Expectations are high for the Irish, but it's about, as Marcus Freeman will gladly tell you, it's about getting better every snap.
110%. The coin toss is here, and Northern Illinois wins it. However, Marcus Freeman, talking about getting better, he's looking at those tight ends as well. In lieu of Mitchell Evans' injury, only about 10 snaps against Texas A&M, looking for Cooper Flanagan and Eli Raritan to have a big day and step into some tight end number 1 roles.
So, referees announced for us here today, it's time to play some football. You said it. Northern Illinois won the toss, and they elected to defer, so Notre Dame will receive the opening kickoff. They're obviously in the blue jerseys, obviously in the gold helmets, but right now, a little change to the blue jerseys. They got the white numbers, gold trim, gold pants, but a patch on the shoulders was white, now is gold, perhaps symbolic of the gold standard, right?
Yeah, 100%. I love it. I like the gold. The more, the merrier, I say. And it looks good, it looks crisp, and hopefully they can throw some touchdowns in it. That's the goal. Riley Leonard leading the way. First home game in South Bend for Riley Leonard, and he didn't play in the blue and gold game, right? So this is his first time here in South Bend at Notre Dame Stadium.
Northern Illinois in the white jerseys, black pants, black helmets, black numbers with red trim for you for the Huskies. Northern Illinois will kick from right to left across your radio. The Irish will kick or receive from left to right. Back to receive for Notre Dame. Jaden Harrison, the Marshall transfer, known for his kick returns, was an All-American on special teams last year at Marshall. Jadarian Price also out there for Notre Dame. Kicking off for NIU will be Kanan Woodill.
Yeah, and Jaden Harrison, hopefully he can take this one to the house. He had a huge year, as we mentioned last year at Marshall, transfer from Marshall, and he's going to be a big addition to this Notre Dame team.
I misspoke. It's actually the freshman Austin Bullock who will kick off at Notre Dame Stadium in his freshman year for the Huskies.
No pressure.
The crowd's on their feet. The ball is in the air. It's up and away, and we are underway. Back to receive is Harrison. He takes it out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. Cuts left. He's still on his feet. He's wrestled down now at the 25-yard line. And Notre Dame will start their first drive at home of the 2024 campaign. And out onto the field, just in a moment, he's in the huddle right now, but out on the field will come Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard, a huge year at Duke his sophomore year, injured because of actually the Notre Dame game last year, his junior year. However, had a great game against Texas A&M. When he wasn't doing it in the air and wasn't able to pass effectively, he was able to run. 63 yards were huge on the ground. And sophomore year at Duke, he's one of 3 quarterbacks to throw for 2,900 plus and run for 695 plus. The others, Jaden Daniels and Drake May.
Cooper Flanagan switches sides. Irish start at the 25-yard line. Jeremiah Love off to the left. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Leonard. Ashton Craig the snap. Leonard steps back. He's got time to throw, holding on to it. Pocket breaks down, rolls right, throws right, and making a catch, pushing right out of bounds there. Or getting pushed right out of bounds there is Collins.
Yeah, dream start for Riley Leonard, and that's one thing Riley Leonard needs to work on, getting a relationship with those receivers.
Second and third, a 7-yard gain for Collins. Empty backfield now for Leonard on 2nd and 3. 14:32 just underway here from Notre Dame Stadium. Glad you've decided to join us. Here's the snap. Leonard, he's going to fake the run. Now he rolls left. He's got it himself down across the first down marker out to the 40-yard line. Irish have their first down of the game. Quarterback keeper for Leonard.
Leonard's nifty. He can run, and Mike Denbrock's going to have a field day. He did with Jaden Daniels last year.
Irish look like they're playing with a little bit of tempo here, Chris.
Yeah, and they want to keep NIU's defense on their feet.
One receiver split out to the left side. It's Love off to the right. Switching sides here is Chris Mitchell. His split out to the left, too. The handoff goes to Love. He's got some room up that left side, rumbling up to the 44-yard line. He's tackled there.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love, big day last Saturday. It's going to be another huge one against NIU.
5-yard gain, 2nd and 5. Irish seem to be in a rhythm here early. 13:40 on the clock, still scoreless. First drive of the ball game. Leonard takes a look to the sideline, calling out a different play. He's still got Love split out to the right, 1 wide receiver to the left and 1 to the right. He takes the snap. That's Greathouse split out to the right. It's a handoff. No, it's not. Leonard keeps it. He's going to rumble his way up to the monogram at about the 49-yard line. He goes down.
Yeah, we see a lot of different play calls. Riley Leonard keeping it for the second time on this drive. And after 63 yards on the ground last week, they're really going to try to get Riley Leonard going again using his legs. We mentioned his capabilities. That will be huge for Mike Denbrock's offense.
First down for the Irish on the 49-yard line, their own 49-yard line. Mitchell and Greathouse out to the right. Collins off to the left. Love now moves up a couple steps to the right of Leonard, who takes the snap. Hands off to Love. He runs left side looking for a lane. Flag comes out. Love is all blocked up at the 50-yard line. Getting in there on the tackle was Christian Furman. We'll see what this flag is.
It looks like he was able to gain a yard or two, but ref is out on the field. About to make the call.
And it is a holding call against Billy Schrouth, the right guard for Notre Dame from Campbellsport, Wisconsin.
Yeah, similar to Texas A&M. They had a couple calls early on, although it was a little different of an environment. However, they need to just get settled today, and that's a tough loss there for the Notre Dame offensive line.
That'll set the Irish back. It'll be 1st and 20 from the 39-yard line. Sorry about that. Leonard awaiting the snap. He's got Love off to the left. Waiting in the pocket to pass. He's got Greathouse out wide on the sideline. Greathouse making a stutter move as he gets the reception up at the 48-yard line. He's just short of where Notre Dame would have been, so it'll be about 2nd and 12.
Yeah, and I mentioned Riley Leonard last week just wasn't on the same page with some of those receivers, so it's good to see him getting started early throwing the ball.
See some first action from Mitchell Evans, who gets split out way wide here on 2nd and 12 from the 47-yard line. 12:08 on the clock. First drive for Notre Dame in a scoreless ball game. Home opener against Northern Illinois. Love off to the left. Leonard steps back, takes the snap, looking for a pass. He's in the pocket right over the middle. Oh, when he missed Greathouse, who was wide open out across the 36-yard line.
Yeah, that one's on Leonard. However, 3rd down, he has a chance to redeem himself here.
He just passed it behind him, it looked like there, Chris.
Yeah, pass to the other side, just didn't hit him in stride, and it's going to set up a 3rd and long now.
3rd and long from the 47-yard line, 3rd and 12 to be exact. We see Devin Ford getting his first action of the game, split out to the right of, or positioned off to the right of Leonard. Evans motions from left to right across the line. Now it's 2 receivers to the left and the right. Here's the snap. Leonard steps back, throws across the middle. He's got Evans. Is it enough? It is out across the first down marker. First down for the Irish.
Preseason second-team All-American Mitchell Evans was injured in the preseason, so didn't play much against A&M. But that's what he can do. He is a big-time player, and that's a big-time play for Mitch Evans.
Leonard comes through with a bullseye pass for Leonard coming across the right hash mark. 1st and 10 now for the Irish from the NIU 39. They are driving here with 11:26 on the clock. Ford remains in the game. 2 receivers out to the left and 2 to the right. Leonard will keep this one. He's gobbled up right away. Spins away from a couple tackles, though. Goes down, though, with only a short gain.
Hey, you love to see a quarterback take a hit. He's not scared of it. He's going straight into it, and you gain the respect of your teammates doing that. You also gain respect when you allow them to get some of your NIL deals, but that's besides the point. Good play there from Riley Leonard, nevertheless.
2nd and 9 from the 38-yard line. It took a couple NIU Huskies to bring Leonard down there. Love comes back into the game now. He's stationed off to Leonard's left. Mitchell and Greathouse, the receivers out wide. Motioning across the line is Evans here. Right across the middle, it's got Greathouse. He's out across the first down marker yet again.
Yeah, Jaden Greathouse is already putting up more production than he did last week. He had 3 receptions for 26 yards, and he was huge last year as a freshman. He had 265 yards, 5 touchdowns, though. Great play there from Greathouse.
Irish go empty backfield here for 1st and 10 from the 27. Jeremiah Love split out towards as a receiver, out towards the far sideline there. 5 receivers. Leonard steps back. He's got time. Rolling left. He's going to take it himself. He's got room to run. Down across the 20. He'll just run out of bounds and takes a late hit there. He goes sliding into the Notre Dame sideline.
Riley Leonard using his speed yet again, and that was a great improvisation play. The pocket was kind of collapsing on him. He just got out and went.
9-yard gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 1 from the 18 for the Fighting Irish. Notre Dame fans wanted a flag there, it seemed. Leonard did look like he was out of bounds when he got hit, but...
Yeah, that was a late hit. Not sure about that call. However, good field position.
Irish go from the gun here. It's a handoff to Love. He's got a lane right up the middle. He's got the first down for sure. He goes down about the 12-yard line, so not enough to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, after losing Aldrich Estime last year to the NFL Draft, Notre Dame fans were worried about this running game. However, they look great. Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price doing amazing.
Irish in the gun again. Mitchell out to the right. He's the wide receiver there. The handoff here. It goes to Love. He tries to run left. He's tackled at the 10-yard line. The ball came out there, but Love was down.
He was down. Bounced to the outside. Unlucky on that one. Just got sweeped in the ankles.
Just a 9 or 1 yard gain. Skylar Gill Howard on the tackle for the Huskies. So 2nd and 9 from the 11. Irish looking for their first score of the game.
Yeah, they're in dangerous position. This is where you need to punch it in. Notre Dame needs to work on this. It's what I said before the game.
Notre Dame in the gun again. 3 receivers out to the right. Now they go tight. No receivers split out wide here. And Leonard's going to keep it himself. He's rolling right. Leonard hurdles over a leg. He's driving to the goal line. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Riley Leonard. Hello. Running all the way to the end zone. Huge drive for Riley Leonard. And he's got a touchdown to show for it. The leading rusher so far in this game, Riley Leonard. Well, 33 yards on the ground for Riley Leonard on that drive.
That is about as good of an opening drive for Notre Dame as you could ask for if you're an Irish fan. 13 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown for Leonard running it in out on the field for the extra point here.
And he doesn't seem to have any issues with his ankle, which was bugging him off all offseason, a couple of surgeries. So good to see for Notre Dame fans, Riley Leonard running away, and it's 6-0 right now for the Irish.
Well, they've just announced that they're putting the touchdown under review here. So we'll see if we get a look on the video board here. Leonard is going down as he crosses the goal line. Seems to me like the ball breaks the plane there before he's down, Chris.
Yeah, the question is his knee. Let's see as he's falling down. Indecisive, hard to see off of that angle. I'm calling a touchdown right now, but
the knee sort of looks like it's down before the goal line, but his upper body is over the plane, breaking the plane, and he's got the ball clutched very high on his chest.
We got a good angle right there. That looks to be a touchdown. However, you never know with these referees what they're going to call and what they see, what camera angles they have that we don't. Right there, that's a touchdown. His back was headed towards the ground, but the ball is overextending. And great play from Riley Leonard. Tough play from Riley Leonard.
So we'll see the officials taking a good long look here. The referee is Tim Hedgepath. He's over at the monitor. The replay official is Steve Joseph. Replay communicator Carlos Guzman.
And Riley Leonard celebrating, so it looks like it's an Irish touchdown.
Yep, and they've just announced it in the building. Ruling on the field stands, so it's not confirmed, but stands. Interesting distinction there, so they couldn't find any evidence.
Yeah, Notre Dame will take that one every day of the week. Mike Denbrock, versatile play calling, passing for Riley Leonard, running. That's what you want to see out of Riley Leonard, a dual threat quarterback. That's what he was billed as coming in to South Bend.
Mitch Jeter on for the extra point for Notre Dame. The snap, the hold, the kick through the uprights, and good. Irish lead 7-0 on the rushing touchdown by Riley Leonard. His first touchdown here at Notre Dame Stadium. 13 plays, 75 yards in 6 minutes and 25 seconds. A good start for Notre Dame. They lead 7-0 on the voice of the Fighting Irish, WVFI. Manti Te'o pumping up the crowd here at Notre Dame Stadium. The 77,600-ish have a lot to cheer about as we welcome you back. Ryan Murphy alongside Chris Dailey. It's 7-0 Irish, and they will kick from left to right across your radio as Northern Illinois will take the ball for the first time. We'll talk about Notre Dame's drive here in a sec, as you can probably hear Manti is just getting off the field now.
Perfect first start, though, or first drive, excuse me, for Notre Dame. Exactly what they could have dreamed of and what they pictured all this week in practice. 7-0 for Notre Dame as they're set to kick off here.
Mitch Jeter, the South Carolina transfer, kicked the extra point. He was one of the heroes of that Texas A&M game, hitting the 46-yard field goal at the end to ice it. And he will kick off here. It is well out of the... Or actually, it's right on the goal line.
It bounces.
So they are going to have to receive it.
Huge play for Notre Dame.
And Jalen Poe goes down on the 4-yard line. That is about as perfect a kickoff as I have ever seen in my life.
That was
Chris.
something. SportsCenter Top 10 better take note of that kickoff from Mitch Jeter. Oh, my goodness.
You know, the wind has kind of moved around the stadium here, Chris, and it looked like that kick got caught up in the wind to me and to the Northern Illinois returners.
It landed.
It seemed like it was going out of the end zone.
It landed
on the goal line.
Exactly on the goal line. You could not have dreamed for a better kick. And perfect field position. The ball is on the 2 right now. So Notre Dame's defense, if they're not great already, well, they're definitely great in these situations.
Well, this is the most difficult situation Ethan Hampton has ever been in his life. He's got his 2 feet in the end zone at Notre Dame Stadium, right in front of the student section. That's the loudest part of this building. He's only got 6 starts to his name at the FBS level and 11, now 12 games played.
Yeah, this is unlike anything NIU has ever seen or seen all season long, or will see. Huge one for Ethan Hampton, and looks like there's a stoppage on the field. We're going to see what the call is.
And it looks like they put this under review. I'm not sure if, well, let's put it this way. If reviewing where a punt lands, if where a punt lands is reviewable, that's news to me.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before.
We're looking at the kick, and Oh, it looks like his foot was in. Maybe it's a safety, and they're also looking if the ball is on the line because after the ball bounced up, the receiver's foot came into the end zone as he called it, but it looks like they're more so looking for the ball and where it landed.
Yeah, that is what they're reviewing.
They're not going to tell with that camera angle, I can tell you that much. As we switch up the camera angle here in South Bend, we'll keep you updated.
It's definitely landing on the green.
It landed on the green for sure.
That's not in the end zone. So, a couple reviews to start this game.
Yeah.
That's how you know college football is back. A lot of stoppages.
Yeah, this one will definitely make Sports Center, which you love to see, but that ball is definitely inbounds.
Ruling on the field stands. So, they've got the ball placed at the 2-yard line. And as I was saying earlier, you know, one of the strengths of this Northern Illinois team is their defense. They're veteran on defense. They're not so veteran on offense. And their best game is the ground game.
Yeah.
They're going to need the ground game led by Ontario Brown to get them out of this tight position against one of the nation's best defenses.
Ontario Brown is great. We're going to see what he can do, though.
1st and 10 from the 2. Here's the snap. The handoff. Brown runs right up the middle. And he does get about 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, well, this NIU offensive line is the polar opposite of Notre Dame's. 119 starts combined amongst all of them. They have 2 6-year seniors in there.
Veteran offensive line. One of the older teams in the country, really, NIU is. They've had some players stick around. Brown stationed off to the right here of Hampton. The snap, the handoff. Brown's got it. Shifts left and then right, and he's brought down quickly. Getting to him was Jack Kaiser for Notre Dame. And no gain, or gain of 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 now. Ontario Brown most likely going to get the ball again here on this one.
Irish
Could
7,
see a screen coming.
Northern Illinois 0. 7:30 on the clock here in the first quarter. And Notre Dame's got Northern Illinois pinned back well inside their own 10-yard line on their first drive of the ball game. Right in front of the student section, which gets loud here on 3rd down. Snap the handoff. Hampton rolls right. He's got no receivers. He's going to take it himself, running up to the marker. He's not going to get there.
Yeah, just shy there. It's very hard to pass against this Notre Dame secondary. We mentioned they're the best in the country. So no passes on that one. And it looks like he actually just got it. The ball went about a couple centimeters past the 1st down marker.
I apologize for that.
No worries.
Almost certain that she did get there.
That was a close call.
Yeah, that's you know, you're a broadcaster. Sometimes you just got to make a call, right?
Amen.
Hampton under the gun, under center here, sorry. He's got Brown positioned back on the 5-yard line. One wide receiver split out to the right. Shifting sides, there was Henderson. It's a lane right up the middle. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah, well, they got me too.
Totally wrong.
That ball went to Trayvon Rudolph, number 3, star wide receiver. He was a freshman All-American back in 2020, and he got the ball off the sweep right there.
That's how you could tell I was watching the game out of the binoculars right there.
Yeah, jet sweep for Trayvon Rudolph. Good play design. And switching it up is this NIU offense.
NIU pushing their way out of that precarious position they were in just moments ago. Ball still on the 17-yard line, though. They're not attempting to throw the ball against this Notre Dame secondary in such a dangerous spot.
No.
Empty backfield now as Brown motions out to the near hash marks. The snap back to Hampton. He's under pressure, throws over the middle, and it's caught! Brown's got it all by himself. He's down inside Notre Dame territory at the 30, the 20, the 10. Ontario Brown all the way to the house. Touchdown Huskies.
Well, NIU right there just totally got behind Notre Dame's last line of defense, and Ontario Brown, who was the running back, went out to become a receiver, and no one really guarded him. No one matched up with Ontario Brown, and it was as easy as you like for the first-team All-MAC best running back in that conference, Ontario Brown.
Well, there is a flag on the play, but it's going to be an 83-yard touchdown reception for Ontario Brown. His first reception of the season, he had 8 carries against Western Illinois. His first touchdown of the season as well. And, wow, Notre Dame brought pressure. And on their first pass attempt of the game, the Huskies find the house. And their band plays the fight song down to our left. They brought the band down from Northern Illinois. Onto the field for the extra point attempt is Woodill. The snap, the hold, the kick is good, and we have a tie ball game here at Notre Dame Stadium.
Wow, that's the only word you can say right now. Wow, Ontario Brown. And we just mentioned NIU. They don't want to throw against this Notre Dame team. They have one throw that whole drive. Bam! From the 2-yard line all the way to the house. 98-yard drive for NIU. And right now, they're living up to the bill of being the underdogs that can stick it to the man in Notre Dame.
We got a ball game here at Notre Dame Stadium. Back in a bit, it's 7-7 between the Fighting Irish and the Huskies. Welcome back here to Notre Dame Stadium. Well, nobody really expected Texas A&M to get a passing touchdown against Notre Dame. They didn't. No one really expected Northern Illinois to get a passing touchdown or a touchdown really at all against this Notre Dame defense.
Maybe even a pass.
And they didn't even have a pass until an 83-yard touchdown pass or reception by Ontario Brown has just tied the score here at Notre Dame Stadium. And now the Huskies will kick from right to left as Austin Bullock will kick off.
Yeah, well, the Notre Dame secondary bid on that one, and they do that. Usually they intercept it. That time they bit, they missed, and Ontario Brown went all the way to the house.
The kick by Bullock is out of the back of the end zone. Touchback for Notre Dame. The Irish offense will come back onto the field after a great start to the game, 13-play, 75-yard touchdown drive.
Yeah, let's not forget, this Irish offense has been moving and grooving so far this game. In that first drive, Riley Leonard, he had a field day, 33 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown, and he also completed some passes, 4 for 5, 40 yards. So Riley Leonard's had a hot start to the day.
Irish take the ball at the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame. 5:35 on the clock here in the first quarter. 7-7 under the long shadow of the Golden Dome here at Notre Dame Stadium. Some motion and then the snap. Jadarian Price getting his first reps of the game. He'll go right up the middle. Stopped for a short gain by Northern Illinois. I do want to go back to something we talked about in the intermission. Texas A&M had 100 receiving yards against the Fighting Irish defense. How many in one drive did Northern Illinois have?
83?
98!
98?
Well, 98 yards, yes.
Oh,
but 83, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. So, well more than half.
Yeah.
2nd and 9 here for Notre Dame. Flanagan in motion. Leonard goes a lateral out to Price. He's at the 20. Out across, really just ambling up to the 25-yard line. He's taken down, though. A great tackle by Jashawn Prophet, the Pompano Beach, Florida native.
Yeah, well, NIU, they call these games boneyard games. They just come in and they want to kill the Huskies. And right now, they're looking pretty sharp against the number 5 team in the country. Notre Dame needs an answer here.
Aeneas Williams getting his first reps in a Fighting Irish uniform. The freshman from Hannibal, Missouri is
Shout out
stationed out
to my
the
class
right.
of 2028 right there.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Riley Leonard. A lot of things, good things expected. Leonard steps back to pass, and he's taken down.
Taken down, it was Anthony Knapp, the freshman, who missed his block right there, got bossed around, and huge sack for NIU. Meanwhile, you talk about Aeneas Williams. He had a great block coming in as a freshman. Good start to his time in the blue and gold, although it will be 4th down now for the Irish forced to punt.
Devontae O'Malley and Jaden Dolphin got to Leonard. And like you said, Chris, it was the left side of that offensive line, and Notre Dame will punt.
Yeah, we talked about
drive.
Anthony Knapp before. He's young. He's a freshman, still learning. And that was a freshman moment right there.
James Rendell's punt is out across the monogram. Fair caught at the 45-yard line by Cam Thompson. The 24-year-old Aussie averaged 42.8 yards at Texas A&M. So, welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium, everybody. Ryan Murphy alongside Chris Dailey. The Northern Illinois offense back on the field with good field position after an Irish second drive stalls out, Chris.
Yeah, this Northern Illinois defense, again, very experienced. They returned 18 of their 21 starters from last year under defensive coordinator Nick Benedetto. They've doubled their turnovers, and they were 6th in passing defense last year. So, good drive from them, and now their offense looking for something. Meanwhile, this Notre Dame defense, well, they're trying to make up for what happened on that last drive.
1st and 10 from the 45 for Northern Illinois. 3:41 remaining in the first quarter in a 7-7 ball game. And he snapped to Hampton. Here's the star running back, Ontario Brown. Finds a hole on that right side, and he's free again. Out across the 40, the 35, the 30, and he's pushed out of bounds by Xavier Watts.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is NIU's first ever primetime game on national network television. And Ontario Brown is saying hello to the NFL right now, having a field day, found that hole on the right side of the line and wins.
1st and 10 from the 27. Northern Illinois goes hurry up. Brown stationed out to the right. He is quite literally putting this Northern Illinois offense on his back. We knew he'd be a star. He was pretty good, 8 carries for 64 yards against Western last week, but nothing like the start he's had to this game. He's already had more yards on the ground, I think. Just after that run, he's got the carry here again up to the 25. It'll be 2nd and 8, a gain of 2.
Yeah, Ontario Brown, you mentioned him. This guy is the real deal. Notre Dame's defense needs to find an answer. However, if anybody is, and any coordinator is, it's Al Golden, one of the most veteran and experienced coordinators in all of college football.
Savannah, Georgia native. Ethan Hampton, his quarterback. But he's lacking for experience. He's being helped out by his running back. Under center here, awaiting the snap on the 25-yard line. In motion, it's a handoff to Rudolph, the wide receiver. And it's a throw to the end zone, and it's out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Incomplete. A trick play from the Huskies on 2nd and 8, well inside Notre Dame territory?
Yeah, Dane Partridge was wide open there back of the end zone. Just a bad throw. However, great look there. And they're going to have to do something if they want to throw the ball because this Irish secondary you mentioned, so good. And a fake run there. That was, what a play.
3rd and 8 from the 25. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And Ontario Brown stationed on to the right of the quarterback, Ethan Hampton. The noise gets loud here at Notre Dame Stadium. Hampton looking over to the sideline. Fans coming to their feet. A little bit of motion before the snap. Play clock down to 6. Here's the snap. The handoff to Brown. It's a fake. Hampton rolling right. He's under pressure. Forced out, and it's incomplete. Getting to Hampton.
Joshua Burnham.
Was Joshua Burnham. Absolutely right, Chris.
Wow, Joshua Burnham, 2021 Michigan Gatorade Player of the Year. A huge recruit for Notre Dame back in the day. And the backup defensive end comes in, makes a great play.
So NIU will attempt a field goal here. It's rather lengthy, about 42 yards.
Well, I hit one from here at the Rudy movie the other night.
Or Kanan Woodhill. He's 11 of 17 last year, long of 49. The kick is up, and it is good. And NIU takes the lead at Notre Dame Stadium.
Yeah, this is something. The underdogs are coming in, and they're playing like some big dogs right now, 10-7. And the NIU Huskies have a lead against the number 5 team in the country, Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
We'll see if Notre Dame can respond. Trailing by 3. The first time they've trailed this year? No, they trailed at Texas A&M, but only by a field goal. They trail by a field goal here at home. We'll be back just after this on the Voice of the Fighting Irish. Still in a commercial break here at Notre Dame Stadium. 2:13 left on the clock in the first quarter, and the Northern Illinois Huskies have the lead here. Chris Dailey, what do you think? Is this Texas A&M hangover so far?
I wouldn't say so. I think NIU's just come out and executed their plan to perfection, and no one could have really guessed that. They've had a versatile offense so far. They've been running it with Ontario Brown. However, a couple fake runs to Brown. Notre Dame's defense is just biting too much on those, and that's when the big play happens. And again, a very experienced team. This offensive line's been holding up very well, and so has the defensive line. They're winning the battle in the trenches right now, so Notre Dame needs to do something about that. How can they win this game in the trenches? And I think once they start to figure that out, we're going to see a different score line eventually later down in the second half.
NIU kicking unit out on the field right now. I'm going to read you some history after the Irish take this kickoff. 2:13 on the clock. Notre Dame trailing 10-7. Kick is deep in the Irish end, and it'll be taken out of the back here by Jaden Harrison. He's got some space across the 30. He's got 35. Go. Harrison's still on his feet. It takes a whole lot of Huskies to muscle him down out across the 37-yard line, so the Irish will get good field position here.
Yeah, great return from Jaden Harrison. We mentioned first-team All-American kick returner last year, so living up to the bill right there as a transfer.
Told you I was going to read you some history. I will.
Let's do
Notre
it.
Dame, after big Week 1 openers. At Ohio State in 2022, they lose to Marshall. At Florida State in 2021, they struggle against Ball State. And then at home against Michigan in 2018, struggling against Ball State. So,
yeah.
Are we seeing a pattern here? Perhaps. We'll talk about it more in a moment. The Irish offense is on the field here. And they'll start over at the 37. Love switches slides from right to left. Leonard takes the snap, looking across the middle. He's got Love wide open there on the 40-yard line, and he's got it right into the basket. Love will get some yards after the catch, muscling up about 2 yards away from the first down marker.
Yeah, offensive line held up very well. We talked about winning this game in the trenches just before that, and bam, Riley Leonard had a couple seconds to throw that one, delivered a nice pass across the middle of the field.
Oh, 2nd and 2, Notre Dame. 1:38 on the clock. It's 10-7 Huskies. And Love remains on the field. 2 wide receivers split out to the right, 2 wide receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Again, Leonard takes the snap, throws left side, and it's knocked out of the hands of, looked like Chris Mitchell over there.
Yeah, it was Jacob Finley with the coverage for the NIU Huskies, and he was physical right there. Tough catch for Mitchell to bring in.
Right on the hash marks on the left side, so they'll set up 3rd and 2 for Notre Dame. They go a little bit more with the passing game, and now we have an Irish player down on the field hurt.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I think it looks like Mitchell.
Chris Mitchell.
Transfer from FIU.
Yeah.
He was the best receiver at FIU since T.Y. Hilton way back in the day, Colts legend.
He will get up and walk off on his own accord. So
yeah, so he looks good-ish. Good-ish.
We'll keep an eye out for that. If he's back on the field soon, we'll let you know.
I would like to see Riley Leonard run the ball some more on this drive. They had a lot of success with that on the first drive of the game. However, they didn't stick with it, this Notre Dame offense. So can Riley Leonard get moving and grooving, running his legs? Let's find out now.
3rd and 2. KK Smith, the freshman, is out there, or the sophomore rather, is out there in his place. Leonard will rumble up himself. He's got it across the 50. First down, Irish.
There we go. I'd like to take credit for that one.
That's the beauty of having Riley Leonard, right?
Yeah, that is the beauty. You couldn't do that with the past couple of quarterbacks, and not to fault of their own, just Riley Leonard adds a different element to his game, and great play there from Leonard, finds the hole and goes.
1st and 10 for the Irish from the 49-yard line. A minute left to go here in the first quarter. It's 10-7 Huskies. Irish have been playing possession ball. They had 13 plays over almost 7 minutes. Leonard's got it in the pocket, holding up, throws across the middle. It's batted away, and it's an intercepted. NIU's got the ball. They claim they've got an interception at least. It'd be Christian Furman's.
Yeah, Christian Furman, the grad transfer. I just don't know what Riley Leonard's thinking right there, throwing into double coverage, had all the time in the world. Maybe he could have went outside the pocket and ran or found a check down, throws it to the middle of the field where 2 guys are right there, and Christian Furman, after it bobbles up, comes up with it, and it's an interception for NIU. It's a terrible start right now for the Irish, not what they were looking for.
The Southeast Missouri State transfer, his 2nd game in a Northern Illinois uniform. He picks off a pass at Notre Dame Stadium, and
that is exactly what he had dreams about last night.
Yeah, exactly. Notre Dame will keep it here.
Right at the middle of the field by the ND logo, Christian Furman intercepted that one. Again, Riley Leonard, he's not going to be happy with that decision.
It's just strange interception. 1st and 10 NIU. We'll describe it to you here in a minute as Hampton steps back to pass. He's got a man open, and guess who? It's Ontario Brown rushing down the left side inside the 15-yard line. He goes down at the 10. Big play, Ontario Brown.
Ontario Brown is everywhere right now. Oh my. And I said 30% of this world is covered by the Notre Dame secondary before the game. It might be by Ontario Brown as well. Drake Bowen with the coverage. He got beat there as he was stepping up to make a tackle on Ethan Hampton, the quarterback, pressuring, and then Ontario Brown went in behind. However, Bowen, to his credit, got back, and he avoided a touchdown there because of that. Good hustle from Bowen.
Well, they're going to let the clock run out here on the first quarter, but the story of the first 15 minutes is Ontario Brown and the Northern Illinois Huskies. They have a 10-7 lead and are pushing for more here against the number 5 Fighting Irish. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to the voice of the Fighting Irish, WVFI. Well, Chris, my first Notre Dame football game was 2002 home opener against Marshall. And not a fond memory for Notre Dame fans. 2 years on, those memories may be a bit too fresh in Notre Dame fans' mind as we welcome you, the listeners, back here to Notre Dame Stadium. It's 10-7. Northern Illinois leads the number 5 Fighting Irish, and they're threatening for more here in the 2024 home opener.
Yeah, Notre Dame just is playing a little sloppy right now. Is it the hangover from Texas A&M, as you mentioned? Possibly. However, if there's one thing I can trust, it's Marcus Freeman getting this team together. Maybe it's at halftime, maybe it's right now in the huddle, but Marcus Freeman needs to add some juice. We saw him walking out his team. He looked so hyped up, so energetic in College Station. We need some of that right now for Notre Dame.
Husky offense will take the ball on the 12, 1st and 10 after yet another big play from star running back Ontario Brown. He was the story of the first quarter.
He's got 37 yards on the ground, 126 yards in the air on 2 catches.
As we begin the second quarter, Northern Illinois has the ball right in front of the student section. That is the loudest part of the stadium. Empty backfield here. Hampton takes the snap, rolls out right, looking for some options. He's got nothing. He just throws it away.
That's what we're talking about for Notre Dame. Great coverage right there by the Irish. No one was open. What do you have to do if you're Ethan Hampton? Throw it away.
So first play of the second quarter stalls out. Benjamin Morrison in coverage for the Irish. There really weren't many options for Hampton at all. He was smoked out by Jalen Sneed.
Yeah, Benjamin Morrison targeted 5 times versus A&M. 1 catch allowed for 1 yard. Not a bad stat line if you're Benjamin Morrison, one of the best cornerbacks, maybe the best cornerback in the country.
Rudolph splits out to the left, the wide receiver for Northern Illinois. Brown stationed off to the left of Hampton.
Let's see, maybe
no wide receivers out to the right, just 2 to the left. Here's the snap. The handoff goes to Brown. It's actually Hampton taking it up the left side, and Watts gets there on the 10-yard line to drag him down.
Yeah, great play there. And the assisted tackle, too, from Galamu Asa, the freshman, number 35. 2 tackles versus A&M. He's finding his role in this Notre Dame defense nicely, and good wrap tackle there for the Irish.
Here comes the crowd, Chris. 3rd and 8 from the 10, right in front of the Notre Dame student section. This might be the loudest environment Northern Illinois will play in all season, and they're going to get some of its loudest shouts right now. 3 receivers go out to the right side here. Ontario Brown off to the right of quarterback Ethan Hampton. 3rd and 8 from the 10. It's a handoff to Brown. He steps left, steps right. He gets close to the first down marker, which is on the 2.
So 4th and 2. Now the question is, do you kick it or do you go for glory if you're NIU?
What do you do?
Right now, kick it. You take your points against the number 5 team in the country. However, for Notre Dame, it looks like NIU is going to go for it. They're going for glory. And this Notre Dame defense, led by Al Goulding, needs a huge stop right here on 4th and 2 in South Bend.
4th and 2. Ball on the 4. Northern Illinois leading 10-7, looking for more. Under center here is Hampton, and a timeout called by Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois took the timeout there. I don't know why Notre Dame would take a timeout, right? But now we'll see if they reassess here, which I think that might be the point of things, maybe trying to draw Notre Dame offside, right?
Yeah, looks like that's what NIU was going to try to do. However, you never know with this team. Maybe they go out and they didn't like their look on that play. So we're going to find out when they take the field in about 10 seconds or so. And the kicking unit is on the field for NIU.
Kanan Woodhill, it's all right last year, 11 of 17. He's already hit 1 field goal in this game. This one much shorter.
Yeah, he has a career long of 49, so he's got a boot on him. And it's a chip shot for Woodhill. Right to the band, though.
Yep,
they should start playing those trumpets. Maybe get him to miss. Do something. Come on, band. Do something.
They'll take it off to the left hash mark here. Snap the hold. The kick is good. So NIU gets points on each of their first 3 drives. They lead Notre Dame 13-7 here early second quarter.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ryan, if the band started playing those trumpets, he would have missed. But agree to disagree, and a good kick from Woodhill. And it's still a 1-possession game, though. Notre Dame can march down. If they get a touchdown and the kick, of course, it'll be 14-13. So they're still in this game. It's not lost yet. Notre Dame needs to find something. Get Riley Leonard running. So much success with Riley Leonard on the ground today. They need to run the ball.
13:39 on the clock here in the first half. NIU leading at Notre Dame Stadium. We'll be back in a bit. You're listening to the Voices of the Fighting Irish, WVFI. Welcome back to Notre Dame, everybody. Ryan Murphy with Chris Dailey. It's 13-7 Northern Illinois, 13:39 left to go in the first half. And Northern Illinois just kicked a field goal, so they will kick off to the Irish from left to right across your radio.
Yeah, football is a game of momentum, and that's exactly what Notre Dame needs right now. Get some momentum and then start going from there. Get some points on the board on this drive will be huge. Maybe a couple of big plays. And as mentioned earlier, can Riley Leonard get outside the pocket? Can he start scrambling a little bit? Would love to see that.
Freshman Austin Bullock's boot has been pretty good kicking into the wind, though, this time. And it's taken by Notre Dame at the 25-yard line. Scrambling to the left, here's Harrison, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 28. So the Irish will take over, looking to tie this game or take the lead.
Yeah, Notre Dame on that kick there gets some good field position, the 30-yard line, so a little more space to work with this time for Notre Dame. And Riley Leonard needs to lead this offense. Also, get Riley Leonard throwing the ball a little more. Get some quick, short passes. They've had some success with that right through the middle. And if he can start connecting with his receivers, they can get something going, some momentum.
That's kind of what we saw. We saw a short, quick passing game plan on the second drive. And on the first drive, or on the third drive rather, on the first drive we saw a lot of run. We'll see what we get here from Notre Dame on their fourth drive. It is a run to the right side, jet sweep for Jadarian Price. He's got some space out the right side, gets to the sideline. He's well across the first down marker, out to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, Irish.
Great blocks all around. Emil Wagner with a huge block right there on the right side of the line, and great play from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
On the tackle for the Huskies at the 44-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10.
1st and 10 from the 44 for the Irish. 13-11 on the clock. 10-7 Huskies.
Jaden Thomas also with a big block there. Wide receiver.
Price switches from left to right and fakes the handoff to him. Leonard throws over towards us on the near side. It's out of the hands of Chris Mitchell. Good to see him back on the field, but that pass might actually have been deflected. NIU got some pressure in there.
Yeah, I think it's better off that Riley Leonard actually threw that pass to the side there, because I think they would have lost yards had that pass been completed. The pump fake, though, and then the pocket collapses. Riley Leonard just a little too long holding on to the ball there.
Bo Collins stationed out to the right. 2 receivers now to the left. Price remains in the game for Notre Dame. Leonard steps back to pass. He gets Collins short on the right side. Collins has a block, ambling up to the first down marker and crosses it into Northern Illinois territory.
It's a bowling ball.
Stutter step there by Bo Collins. Good blocking, too.
Yeah, they're just going to keep him down. He's just going straight down the lane, and great play call. I'm loving it. Get this ball out of Riley Leonard's hands. Don't make him think for too long. Just get it out. Short, quick passes, and that's exactly what they did on that play.
1st and 10 from the 41. Empty backfield for the Irish. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Leonard awaits the snap. Here it comes. Steps back, foot on the 50-yard line, looking over the middle. Now he's got some pressure, has to roll right towards the sideline. He's going to cover, tuck it under, and take it himself. He just comes out right at the, right really at the initial line of scrimmage there. So,
yeah, it looks like it's on the 39. So 2nd and 8. But Riley Leonard making something out of nothing. No one open. Pocket collapses, gets out, gains 2 yards. 2nd and 8 for the Irish.
Price in the backfield here again. Notre Dame in the gun. 2 receivers split out each side. Ball on the 39-yard line. Some motion from Flanagan. It's a handoff. No, it's not. Leonard keeps it himself, and he's wrestled down. Getting to the quarterback was the Huskies yet again. Devontae O'Malley for the 2nd time this game.
And I like the idea of getting Riley Leonard to run some more. However, NIU, they just saw that one coming. Nothing you can do about that. They bought the blitz, and Riley Leonard, before he knew it, had 3 guys on him, taking him down.
3rd and 10. Williams back in the game. 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left for the Irish. 3rd and 10 from the 41-yard line. 4th drive not going according to plan. Leonard steps back to pass. Immediately pressured. He rolls away from a hit, and now will be taken down. Eventually getting the tackle in there for Northern Illinois was Roy Williams.
Yeah, again, another blitz there, a linebacker blitz from NIU, and Riley Leonard, he couldn't even blink before a Husky defender was on him. So, tough one for the Irish, and 4th down and 8 now.
So Notre Dame will have to punt here, as they are not in field goal range. So,
you know, I want to see more Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, the 1-2 punch. They did so well against Texas A&M. We talk about Riley Leonard running. How about the running backs? Let them run. Get them involved in the game. Chew the clock up a little, too.
Rendell's punt at the 11-yard line. Fair cut there by Cam Thompson.
James Rendell. Fair caught by Dane Partridge.
Sorry, Dane Partridge. 8 and 0 look fairly similar from this height.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week in Notre Dame athletics. Let's take a look at this week's Power Scoreboard. We begin with the 9th-ranked women's soccer team.
Well, Chris, we can keep it here for a little bit.
Let's do it.
Irish have, they look really good. 13 plays, 75 yards, 625. And a touchdown on their first drive, and their last 3 have been less than stellar.
Yeah, the running backs just need to get going a little more. Riley Leonard has 10 rushing attempts for 30 yards. The running backs, Love and Price, they only have 5 attempts for 28 yards. If my math serves me correctly, 6 plus 12 is 28. So I would love to see the running backs get going, get some nice plays going, maybe a couple screen passes, and get the blocks to follow. We'll see what Notre Dame can do, but again, momentum on both sides of the ball is much needed right now.
It's really been the big plays that have been the difference.
Yeah.
Right?
Antario Brown, he's been so explosive. And you talk about big plays. Antario Brown has only 2 catches today for 120-plus yards. That is unheard of. Video game numbers right there. And I actually played with him on CFB 25. I didn't have those yards, man. Could have used them against my brother.
9 first downs for Notre Dame, 5 first downs for Northern Illinois. But, I mean, you look at the total offense, 179 yards to 120 in favor of Northern. I mean, it's been puzzling here today for the Irish.
Yeah, puzzling indeed. Marcus Freeman going to get into the guys at halftime about that. And I will say, though, again, the experience difference, and this has kind of been a topic all year long with this Notre Dame team. It's a young team still, especially on that offensive line, of course. NIU is the complete opposite, and they've won 7 of their last 9. They've held 10 of their last 14 opponents to under 28 points. So they're a formidable opponent by all means. This isn't just some random school from the middle of nowhere that we're talking about. So this is actually a very solid opponent, and they're showing out right now. We have to give some credit as well to NIU, and Notre Dame also needs to improve in many aspects so far.
So NIU will take the ball at the 11-yard line, right down below us, so they're not in the difficult part of the stadium right in front of the student section, but
yeah, they need to shut down Antario Brown in this running game. Ethan Hampton has only 2 completions for today, 126 yards, both to Antario Brown. The leading rusher, Antario Brown, 43 yards. Next leading rusher, 5 for Hampton. He has been everywhere.
NIU doesn't even seem to be trying to hide it.
No.
The ball's going to him. We'll see if it goes to him here. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Some motion by Dane Partridge before the snap, running from right to left now. Handoff does go to Brown, and he's wrapped up.
Great tackle there.
Getting to him was Boubacar Traore, the sophomore, former Fisher Hall guy, might I add.
There we go. He had the lone sack on Caleb Williams last year, led to a forced fumble. He's been coming into his own in 2024, taking a much more increased role on this Notre Dame team.
1-yard loss on the run for Brown. The first time I feel like he's gone for a loss today. So 2nd and 11 from the 10. NIU in the gun. Brown stationed off behind Hampton here. 3 receivers out to the left. Handoff to Brown right up the middle. He's got a hole out across the 20, and he's tackled down by Benjamin Morrison. It'll be a first down for sure.
Yeah, insightful play by Benjamin Morrison to go from the left side of the field right to the middle to get Brown, because otherwise, well, he had a lot of space to run in, and you don't want Antario Brown running. Downhill runner indeed.
The running attack, it seems like NIU's been able to open up the defensive line for Notre Dame quite well here this afternoon. 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line, 9:20 on the clock. NIU already leading this ball game by 6, trying to open up a multi-score lead. Pass out to the left side. Is it complete? Going down for it was Brock Lampy, the tight end. And it is complete. The first completion to a guy not named Brown.
There we go. And you talk about this defensive line being opened up. Much of that is because of this NIU offensive line as well. 177 games of experience. Notre Dame's defensive line, they're bigger, they're more physical. They need to start playing like that. They need to play a little tougher, a little more, I don't want to say dirty, but they need to show that muscle off.
It's always hard to wake up in the middle of a game. 2nd and 7 from the 24-yard line. NIU's got one receiver out to the left, two to the right. Snap the handoff to Brown here, running to the left side, evades a couple tackles, gets up to the 30 before going down. He's about a yard short.
Yeah, and I love what NIU's doing in a sense because Notre Dame's best part of their team is the secondary. They barely throw the ball. The secondary isn't really being utilized against.
It'll actually be 3rd and 2 as they try to get the noise going here at Notre Dame Stadium. NIU driving from left to right. They have scored on each of their 3 drives prior to this one. A touchdown on their first and a field goal on their last 2. Play clock at 5 here. NIU still in the huddle, so probably going to get a timeout, and that is what we do get.
Wouldn't be surprised to see some trickery here on 3rd down and 2.
And wondering, was that planned? Did they have to do something with the noise?
Yeah, perhaps. It is getting a little louder here at Notre Dame Stadium, and as you mentioned, they have not experienced anything like this.
Not this year.
It's good, yeah, good for Notre Dame, however, to take a second to breathe and to get something going here on defense. This defense is so good. They did it last year as well against Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams. They shut 2 stars down. Now you have a new starter to shut down, Ontario Brown. Can they do it? We'll figure it out soon. But Al Golden needs to adjust this defensive scheme and maybe just get somebody just to follow him. Jack Kaiser just to follow Ontario Brown all game long. They need an answer.
NIU averaging 11.6 yards per play to Notre Dame's 4.6. 2nd and 29, or 3rd and, jeez, 3rd and 2 from the 29. Numbers, they're a thing.
Yeah.
Big play here. Irish need a stop bad as they have the Huskies deep in their own territory. Brown positioned off to the right. The crowd gets loud. In motion. Handoff goes to Brown. He's got a lane. He's got it. Well across the first down marker up to the 35-yard line. First down Huskies.
Yeah, first down for the Huskies. He has some good blockers there. Donovan Heinisch, though, with the tackle.
So NIU keeps driving here. They'll have a 1st and 10 from the 35.
Yeah, these blocks from NIU, this Notre Dame defense needs to figure a way to get around them. Right now, they're blocking very well. Again, this game will be won and lost in the trenches, just as just about any football game would be.
1st and 10,
NIU moves the chains here. 2 receivers
coverage
to the left. Man coverage here, as you said. Step back Hampton. He's stepping back to pass. Pocket held up for him. The pass is airmailed over on the Notre Dame sideline, though.
Yeah, Notre Dame's defensive line looked like some volleyball players going for a spike there, trying to deflect that pass. You love to see it. Athletic defense. And that's something Marcus Freeman's trying to do, recruit more athletic guys. Not necessarily big, but athletic and skilled talents. And right there, they showed it.
ball remains at the 35.
So 2nd and 10 from the 35. 2 receivers split out to the right. Fullback formation here for NIU. Rushing up to the right side of the line, up to the 41 is Brown. So we get another 3rd and not short, but manageable.
Yeah, Jaden Osbury with the tackle on that one. Bit of a rugby scrum. Notre Dame's defense needs to find their edge right now. Got to get going here.
This crisp, cool, early September air. It's NIU leading at the house at Rockville, 13-7. 6:29 on the clock. 3rd and 4 from the 41-yard line. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right, and of course Ontario Brown right in his normal spot. Hampton steps back to pass. Brown goes out to the right. They get a pass across the right side, and it's broken up.
Great pressure there by Riley Mills, the captain from Notre Dame. 9.5 sacks last year, 1 tackle versus A&M, and he got to Hampton before he could even think about a pass. Difference maker on that play, Riley Mills.
Notre Dame needed that stop, and we get to see NIU punt unit out for the first time today.
4th and 4 from the 41.
4th and 4. Tom Foley, the punter, and his boot is fair, caught at the 30,
Whoa.
and then
Some
a little bit of a late
contact
hit
there.
there on, is that Great House?
Oh, that's a flag. That's a flag, and they're not going to call it. And the student section is getting loud.
Yeah, that was definitely a late hit.
You know what, though? That brought the crowd back into the game. Maybe it was good. Maybe it was needed here at Notre Dame Stadium.
We will see if Notre Dame feeds off the energy. They're showing it on the video board. Crowd even more displeased. We'll take a break and see if everyone calms down a little bit on the other side.
Hopefully not.
You're listening to the voice of the Fighting Irish, WVFI. Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium. Seems like things have cooled off a little bit, but Notre Dame hoping they'll heat up here. They trail by 6 with 6:09 on the clock. They got a big stop there.
Yeah, they did. And then Jaden Greathouse receives the punt and gets hit after, and it brought the crowd back into it. The crowd was getting a little quiet, maybe a little nervous with NIU taking an early lead. However, that was exactly what they needed. Flag or no flag. And now Notre Dame's offense led by the transfer quarterback, Riley Leonard, here to take the field.
We get to see Jeremiah Love back on the field. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the 30. Chris Mitchell in motion here before the snap from left to right. It's a handoff to Love. He's got a lane up the middle. Bust through some tackles. He's out to the 37-ish. 39, they call it.
Yeah, what made the first drive so great for Notre Dame is they threw it, they ran it with Leonard, they ran it with the running backs. We haven't seen that since. All of a sudden, Jeremiah Love gets a carry, and bam, there he goes.
Only 3 carries for 12 yards prior to that for Love today. 2nd and 1 here on the 39-yard line. The snap to Leonard, steps back to pass. He's got some time, throws over the middle. Mitchell goes down for it, and it is incomplete.
Way to get open from Chris Mitchell. Create some separation from Amara Knighton on NIU right there in the middle of the field. A little slant route, but just couldn't bring it in. Low throw.
You know, maybe not Riley Leonard's best throw, Chris.
Yeah, it was a bit of both.
So it'll be 3rd and 1 from the 39-yard line. Love still out there. Eli Raridan with some motion. It's the handoff to Love. Lane on the left side. He's got plenty of space. Out across the 50. Down to the 45-40 along the sideline. Battling with the Huskies. Pushed out of bounds. Jeremiah Love, a big carry, gets the Irish into Husky territory.
Great job by the Notre Dame offensive line to open up a hole there for Jeremiah Love to exploit. Gosh, they just opened a door.
Oh, there's a flag back behind the play, Chris.
Yeah, we're going to see what this is all about. Oh, no.
And we might have missed the announcement amidst the boos, but it is against Notre Dame. This play's going to come back.
Yeah, and although the play comes back, at least Notre Dame's showing a little something else, some versatility on offense.
So it was 3rd and 1 from the 39.
And Anthony Knapp, after one rough play in this game, he had a huge play right there. He was a big reason why there was a hole that opened up, but indeed this play does come back. And
35-yard line. It's 3rd and 5.
5 yards to go.
5, yeah, from the 35-yard line. So Notre Dame gets set back from a 3rd and short to still 3rd and manageable, but it's not 3rd and 1 anymore, Chris.
No, not at all.
Two receivers out to each side. Now some motion here from Notre Dame. Jaden Harrison moves to the inside. Leonard steps back to pass. The pocket collapses, but Leonard throws a dart across the middle. Caught on the left hash mark by a guy that it's refreshing to see, Mitchell Evans.
Mitchell Evans, we've talked about him before, 6'5", 260. He's a football player. With a man on him, he brings that one in, and he's carrying on the tradition of great Notre Dame tight ends. What a snag by Mitch Evans.
Didn't see a lot of Evans at Texas A&M. No targets for the star tight end. Handoff here to Love. Ran into some trouble. Now rolls right, though. He's out at the 50. He picks up about 3 yards where it looked like he wasn't going to get anything for a moment there.
That's an NFL-type play from Jeremiah Love. Bounces to the outside when he sees nothing on the inside, and again, creates something out of nothing. Good improvisation. A little Houdini act from Jeremiah Love.
Evans now is out on the far sideline. 2 wide receivers to each side. Love remains out there. Catalyst of this Notre Dame drive right now. 2nd and 7 from the 50. Irish needing a score to get back in this ball game. The pass goes to Love on the 50. He's hit immediately, stays on his feet, and goes down after gaining about 2 yards after the catch there.
Yeah, Jeremiah Love was almost sliced in half on that one on the far side of the field, but he kept his legs churning and got another yard on that play. So 3rd and reasonable now for the Irish. And again, they're throwing, they're running. Maybe Riley Leonard gets using his legs here. However, it's a good drive so far for the Irish. Now, big third down.
Harrison comes out. Greathouse comes on. 3rd and 4 from the 47. Another third down for this Notre Dame team. Evans had the last conversion on 3rd and 5 to keep this drive alive. Evans now comes to the inside position to the left of the offensive line right now. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Leonard takes the snap. He's under pressure quickly. Lofts one to the far sideline. Greathouse is there, and it's just out of his hands. He got 2 hands on the ball at the 15-yard line, but dropped it.
I would like to shout out Devin Ford on that play as well with a huge block to keep Riley Leonard afloat. That could have been a huge sack, and oh my, so close to a huge gain for Jaden Greathouse. It's a game of inches. Oh my.
In coverage there was Jayshon Profit for NIU.
And looking at this replay right now, right in the bread basket. However, kind of hit the face mask almost a little, bounced away. And Irish are forced to punt. However, it's a good drive from Notre Dame.
Stalls out at midfield, and Rendell's punt is quite short. It's going to bounce for Notre Dame. Good Notre Dame bounce. It landed at about the 20, but bounced into the 12.
We'll take that every day of the week. Nice little bounce for Rendell.
But not what the Irish were looking for in the end. They like to give James Rendell some reps, but another drive stalling out with a punt. Their 3rd punt.
Yeah, they showed some inspiring signs. However, they need to start putting it all together. They need to start adding the Jeremiah Love game to the running game, to the Riley Leonard running game, to the Jaden Greathouse big plays, right? If everybody can piece it together, Notre Dame would be very fluid on offense. That's what it was in the first drive. We have yet to see it since.
So the 1st and 10 from the 12. 3 minutes, 5 seconds left in the first half, and, keeping on the ball on the ground like Northern Illinois has, they have a chance here to take the lead to halftime.
Yeah, this is huge right now. Irish showing 5 in coverage.
Snap and the handoff to, Ontario Brown. He's wrapped up after a short gain there.
Yeah, Jordan Botello with the tackle. We haven't seen much of him today. It would be great for Jordan Botello to get involved in the game. Obviously, he was my key player before, and he needs to be a guy that can take some charge, take leadership, and stop Ontario Brown.
So 2nd and 9 from the 13, 2:40 on the clock. Clock stays running here as NIU is in the huddle. They'll take as much time as they can here on this drive.
Yeah, and the band's getting going. The fans are getting going.
2 receivers split out to the right here. Awaiting the snap from Hampton. Play clock at 0. Yeah, I think that's going to be a flag. Flag does come out.
And timeout.
Oh, they just got it in.
Timeout for the Huskies on that one. Buzzer beater timeout. And they saved losing a couple of yards on that one.
And you know what? Probably not when you wanted to use your last timeout.
No, not at all. Right before the 2-minute warning is just not what Coach wanted to do there, Coach Thomas Hammock.
Remember, though, they do get the ball back to start the second half.
They do, so they don't have much to lose right now. The only thing they can't do is give the ball up in this side of the field. So maybe get to that Notre Dame logo. Meanwhile, for Notre Dame, they got to pin them back right here. Jordan Botello gets another tackle. And Jack Kaiser, all the Notre Dame linebackers need to start stepping up and doing something big here.
One thing Notre Dame could use, a turnover. Now would be about time. They had 2 picks at Texas A&M. It's a direct snap to Brown. He's going to take it right up the middle of the field, manages his way out to the 20-yard line. That'll set up a 3rd and short.
I'll tell you what, when Brown gets hit, he keeps going. He just goes for another 3 yards after contact there. Very great play from Ontario Brown. And this Irish defense now has a 3rd and short they need to stop. 2-minute warning.
We'll take a break for the 2-minute warning. NIU, 3rd and 1 from the Husky 21. When we come back, here on the Voice of the Fighting Irish, WVFI. Welcome back to Notre Dame Stadium, everybody. Well, Notre Dame facing adversity yet again, but of a very different sort than they faced a week ago. We're at the 2-minute warning of the first half, and they trail at home to Northern Illinois. Neither side of the ball has really looked great.
No, it wasn't on the bingo card before the season, that's for sure, trailing to Northern Illinois at home. One thing I would like to see is Riley Leonard completing some more passes. He's kind of been inconsistent. A couple passes have hit the ground, just been inaccurate. So if Riley Leonard can get going using his arm, we've seen him use his legs today, I think Notre Dame can put some points up on the board and start to storm back in this game.
3rd and 1 from the 21. The Irish trying to get the ball back here inside of 2 minutes. Inside Husky territory. Ontario Brown stationed well behind quarterback Ethan Hampton, who's under center. The handoff goes right to him. Brown crushing ahead, and it looks like to me he's out across that 22. It's certainly close.
Yeah, it looks like he has it to me.
Clock is running, and now they'll stop it at 1:49. Did the officials make a signal? Notre Dame stops the clock with a timeout.
Oh, 4th and 1. So Ontario Brown came up
Get it.
just short. Wow.
And a meek cheer turns to a roar here at Notre Dame Stadium. I think most people like us expected that he got it.
Yeah, it looked from up high, the bird's eye view, that the ball had crossed the plane, or excuse me, the first down marker, not the plane. However, it appears as if the very top of the ball didn't.
This is legitimately 4th and inches. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not even a full yard from the first down marker, but Northern Illinois is not going to take any chances. They're going to bring the punt unit out.
Yeah, and Notre Dame just wasted a timeout as well, so
Yeah.
they have 2 timeouts as Greathouse doesn't receive that one, but it turns out for the better. Ball has a good bounce to it.
Tom Foley's punt goes out of bounds at the 39, so Notre Dame has time, 1:40. As you mentioned, they wasted a timeout there, so only 2 timeouts.
Yeah, they need to get to the sidelines here, use the sideline, make it your best friend. Riley Leonard's going to have to start, though, throwing this ball successfully. And the wide receivers and Riley Leonard, I said it before the game, they didn't do that much together. I didn't see much. Maybe it's because Riley Leonard missed a lot of spring practices. However, they need to get on the same page here.
The band trickling out of the student section and onto the field, awaiting their halftime performance. The NIU band is already down there, ready to perform. It's a low snap on the first down from the 39. Leonard has the pocket collapse, but shovels one over the middle, and it's complete. That was it's not a Hail Mary, but it's some sort of prayer there to Bull Collins across the middle.
Yeah, Notre Dame, again, across the middle of the field, finding some success, and high-tempo offense right now for the Irish, trying to move this ball downfield, 1:20 left.
Less than a minute 20 to go. 2nd and 4 from the 45. One back is, I believe it's Devin Ford. Leonard steps back to pass, throws across the middle. Ford's got it right on the monogram. He's brought down at the 50. It'll be good for a first down. That'll stop the clock.
Yeah, huge play from Devin Ford, the grad senior, former 4-star recruit. It was at Penn State, transferred here last offseason. Great play across the middle of the field, safe hands, brings it down.
1st and 10 from the Irish 49. Looks like more to the 50 for us. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff goes to Ford, and he's wrapped up for a short gain.
Yeah, interesting play call there, and now the time is ticking, and Notre Dame has to take a timeout. Was maybe trying to get NIU not to expect that run there and pounding through the middle. However, NIU wasn't falling for it, and just zero yards on the play.
So 51 seconds on the clock. Irish trailing 13-7. They scored the first points of this game. They drove down the field in 13 plays, 75 yards, 6 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And things looked really good at the beginning,
It's
and then
far cry from that now.
certainly
That feels like years ago when Notre Dame did that. Now Notre Dame just trying to find something. Even a field goal here would be big to just get some points, get some momentum rolling into the second half, especially, as you mentioned, NIU gets the ball. And with Ontario Brown, you can't rule anything out with this NIU offense.
one of the stronger teams, expected to be one of the stronger teams in the MAC this year.
Yeah, and Notre Dame on defense, too, just needs to stop him. Find someone just to man mark him all game.
2nd and 10 from the 49 with 51 seconds on the clock. Leonard steps back to pass. He's running out of room, and he's going to be wrapped up. He just throws it away, and the flag will probably come out here. Leonard's slow to get up as well.
Oh, no, this is not good. Riley Leonard is as tough as nails, and he is down on the field. This is not what you want to see right now if you're Notre Dame fans. He's getting up. It looks to be his torso area. This is not good, though.
They're calling it a pass out of bounds, too. But, yeah, Riley Leonard is shaken up. That might be of more concern.
I think he might have got the wind knocked out of him. He's having trouble breathing, which is never fun.
Getting a hand around his collar was Devontae O'Malley, who's been having a fantastic game. He just wrenches him to the ground.
Yeah, and Leonard's staying in there. You got to respect it. Again, this is a guy who's super tough. He's also pointing towards his arm, so can't tell for certain what it is. We'll find out at halftime.
Empty backfield, one timeout for Notre Dame, 43 seconds on the clock, 3rd and 24. Leonard, a short pass for Greathouse. He's at the 35-40. Greathouse is headed out towards the sideline, gets out at the 47, and he's hit late, and the flag comes out.
There we go.
It's Greathouse.
Jayton Greathouse has been in the mix all game.
Yeah.
Didn't draw the flag on the punt, did here.
There we go. That's exactly what Notre Dame needed, and the fans are getting into it as well. Some good blocks from Notre Dame to get Jaden Greathouse out to the outside. Ashton Craig, one of them, the junior.
So it was going to be short, 4th and short. That will get Irish a first down and move them well into NIU territory. A costly mistake.
Huge mistake from NIU. And NIU has yet to let up a penalty all game. Right there they did. It's not a penalty you want to let up. Notre Dame, well, they're well into enemy territory now, as you mentioned, Ryan.
37-yard line, 37 seconds left. 1st and 10 for the Irish. Trying to tie this game or even take the lead. They trail 13-7. They're in NIU territory. 2 receivers out to the right, 2 to the left. In motion here, Greathouse. He moves from left to right, and there are 3 receivers out to the right now. The snap goes to Leonard. Stepping back, throwing over to the right side. It's a short pass, and going down quickly, I believe that's Mitchell. They're going to have to hustle the line here. 28 seconds left.
And Riley Leonard's going to take the snap real quickly now.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and the back. The snap to Leonard. 19 seconds left on the clock. Leonard's got time. Rolling out to the right. He's going to pass up the right side. It's well short of the intended target.
Smart play from Leonard. I don't think he had a receiver in the end zone there. I mean, Mitchell was back there, but he was covered up pretty nicely. So Riley Leonard just strategically throwing it away to get this clock to stop. 14 seconds.
And the Boo Birds are out here at Notre Dame Stadium. It's probably not the referees there.
Yeah, and Notre Dame's going to need a couple yards on this play, especially if they want to set up their kicking unit to have a reasonably
3rd and 7, ball on the 34. 14 seconds left to go. Flanagan in motion. It's a handoff to Aeneas Williams. He breaks off a couple yards, but no more than that. He goes down at the 30. Clock at 6 seconds. Notre Dame with 1 timeout, and now the boos are quite loud. Are they going to try to get a playoff? No. They call a timeout with 3 seconds left.
So yeah, they're going to kick this one, and it is going to be a far kick for Mitch Jeter.
Wolf.
He's got a 46-yarder while at South Carolina with 30 seconds left in the game.
He had that.
Or excuse me, that was with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Before that at South Carolina, where he was a star player there on the special teams unit.
92% on field goals, 23 of 25.
6-yarder while at South Carolina with 30 seconds left in the game.
He had that.
Or excuse me, that was with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Before that at South Carolina, where he was a star player there on the special teams unit.
92% on field goals, 23 of 25 in his 4 years at South Carolina.
Yeah, and as a big soccer guy, Mitch Jeter spent some time with Arsenal over in England playing soccer, so
Wow.
he can kick it as well. And
He can kick it in multiple ways.
Yeah, he can kick it in multiple ways.
Well, Notre Dame
He's
will
top player.
need him to kick it here.
Yeah, this is a far one for Mitch Jeter.
Chris Salerno, or the snap will be Reno Monteforte.
By college standards, I'd say.
The hold will be Chris Salerno. Mitch Jeter has the kick.
Hey, I believe in Mitch, man.
Well over 40 yards. Right in the middle, it's blocked! NIU got a hand on the football. It's scooped up at the 30-yard line, and they've got blockers down at the 50, the 40, the 35. Still on the ball, cut into the inside, and brought down. The kick is blocked to end the half, and it was Santana Banner that got a hand on it, and if that isn't a summation of a poor first half in the home opener for Notre Dame, I don't know what is.
Yeah, neither do I, Ryan. And they are leaving this field, and they are leaving quick. Marcus Freeman, I would love to hear what he has to say at halftime. A lackluster half, and I'm trying to find some positives besides that first drive. However, the Irish just played sloppy all around, and that was the culmination of it all.
The Boo Birds are out. Notre Dame is booed off the field after the first half of their home opener. I'm
Yeah.
sure there were some pessimists who could have predicted this last week, but after the adulation of a victory on the road at Texas A&M, breaking a streak of poor performances on the road in big games, they come back home and have looked far less than stellar.
Yeah, and we talked about NIU coming into South Bend today with a chip. Not just a chip, a whole bag of chips on their shoulder. They've been wanting this game all off season long, and Notre Dame just hasn't looked ready for the heat that NIU has brought at them. So Fighting Irish need to find some of that Fighting Irish spirit that they had last week at Texas A&M, and they need to get going. They need to play more physical. They need to win this game in the trenches. They've had a couple of bad plays on the offensive line. At times the defensive line hasn't been able to pressure Ethan Hampton, and we need to see Jordan Botello a little more and the company back there for Notre Dame. They need to get something going. Riley Mills had a good quarterback pressure, but more of that all around. It has to be a collective team effort here in the second half.
The scoring recap as we will take you to the halftime report here. Riley Leonard, an 11-yard rush at 8:28. Got the score started. It was 7-0 Notre Dame, but all NIU since. Antonio Brown had the touchdown to tie it at 7-7, and Woodhill hit 2 field goals. 13-7 at the half. My name's Ryan Murphy alongside Chris Dailey. Chris will have the play-by-play of the second half when we come back. A shocker from Notre Dame Stadium. Well, Chris, I mean, I've long been of the belief that the kaleidoscope shifts quickly in college football. And I don't think there's been any better evidence of that than this game, right? I mean, listen, like, I'm a big of the stay calm mindset. Notre Dame needs to, these things can be good as long as they win the game, right? They need to get back to the fundamentals, back to that mindset they had going into Texas A&M, build their swagger up in the second half. This isn't an unmitigated disaster yet.
So NIU receives, NIU to start, and the Huskies who come in, firing after a huge win against Western Illinois, are looking for a huge upset win against the Notre Dame.
Absolutely, and the fact that they get the ball back here is all the more important to note, right? They'll start the second half. Notre Dame's defense really started to creep up, building some more momentum for themselves. Can they stop Antonio Brown and that short run game? That'll be the question here in the second half. Well, I'm more...
Play from Ontario Brown.
Adam Schuler of attack. Pick up 10 yards on the play.
It is now 1st and 10. Ball on the 36-yard line here for NIU. Huge gain from Ontario Brown on the play. First down, 10-yard rush for him. And he had a huge first half, 126 yards receiving, and he had 73 yards on the ground. As Hampton takes a snap, it's a play action, looking long, and he has a man. It's a first down on 1st down and 10, and moving the chains is NIU. Dean Partridge with the catch.
Benjamin Morrison on the tackle for the Irish at the 48-yard line of NIU.
And NIU now moving the chains again, and they're not missing a beat from where they left off in the first half. They're moving and grooving, wheeling and dealing, and we have Ethan Hampton right now again, takes a snap, wide receiver screen to the left to Keyshawn Pipkin, and Keyshawn Pipkin is hit, but not before he gains a couple of yards. And there's a player down on the field for Notre Dame.
Oh, great job there, Chris. We were having some technical issues, so I apologize to all of our listeners there. It's kind of getting hot up here in the booth, and we have our system in the sun, so somewhere in between halftime there is kind of getting overheated. We had to switch some mic ports. That's all. Of more concern is this NIU drive, which, I've been our technical ops, so I really haven't watched much of it, but
yeah,
they picked up right where they left off, it seems.
They did, and Xavier Watts is down, which is not what you want to see right now here on the near side of the field. He got hit by Keyshawn Pipkin on the wide receiver screen. He was coming in, and he is down, not getting up. Now he is. Not a good look here as the two teams are congregated on either side of the field, and Watts very, very slow to get up. Last year he had led the nation with 7 interceptions. Also had a fumble recovery touchdown last year. He is a huge player for this Irish team. 1 interception last week against Texas A&M.
So Watts is going to get up and go off on his own. So you asked me earlier, and I was, again, flustered by the text report about what I thought about the kick block. Just got a note from our good friend Jacob Irons, who's working over on the Notre Dame Radio Network.
Let's see it.
First blocked field goal for Notre Dame since September 4th, 2016 at Texas.
Oh, my goodness.
Not a game Notre Dame fans want to remember. That's the Texas's back game.
Yeah, wow, so long ago, 8 years ago. So it's been a while, and that was the just exact opposite of how Notre Dame wanted to end the drive. Getting some points before the second half would have been vital. However, they need to stop this NIU offense, who don't show any signs of slowing down right now. We talk about Ontario Brown. This guy is a wrecking ball. And the thing is, when people tackle him, he just keeps on going, Ryan.
Yeah, I talked to the NIU radio crew in the halftime report, and they were telling me that they knew the offense would be okay, and that Ontario Brown, they knew he could run. They knew he had a strong ground game that could compete with even some of the best defenses in the country, which, to be fair, Notre Dame's defense has not looked like one of the best defenses in the country today. But they weren't sure how his receiving game would be. They said that wasn't really part of the arsenal going in, but he's the leading receiver still. Only 2 receptions, 2 of 5 of the team's receptions for 126 yards and the lone touchdown for NIU in this game.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I don't think Notre Dame's defense was ready for what NIU is throwing at them. 30 pass attempts. That's how many Texas A&M had last week. Only 12 completions, of course, but they were passing the ball a lot. And now it's just a run-heavy, give it the Brown offense. He had 13 carries in the first half.
Yeah, and we all know Notre Dame's defense was stellar last year. 3rd in the country in passing defense, 5th in the country in total defense, 7th in scoring defense. Their weak spot, if there really was one, was the run defense, 28th, which is very good, right? But it's been shown here early, and I think it wasn't the best part of their game against Texas A&M either. Texas A&M's offensive line was able to push the Irish around a little bit for some, moderate gains in the line game, in the running game.
Yeah, and we talk about how this Notre Dame team can grow throughout the season. This is a great game, really testing this Notre Dame's team mentally and talent-wise, as there is 6 Notre Dame guys lined up. It's a Wildcat snap to Brown, and Brown goes to the outside, has a hole on the right side. Helmet comes off on the hit, and he goes for about 6 yards.
Well, I believe he has to come out there, right? Which is is this the first snap on offense he's come out of the game?
I think so. They might start putting him in on defense. He's doing so good.
It's 2nd and 4.
Travis Hunter.
We'll get a look at what NIU's offense looks like without him on the field. Trayvon Rudolph is one of their biggest threats at receiver, and he reportedly had gone to the locker room at halftime dinged up.
Yeah, that would not be a good look right there. He was pretty active in the first half as well, as Ethan Hampton now taking the snap, motioning left to right is Brock Lampy. Dropping back is Hampton. Right side of the field! Almost intercepted, tosses it up. And it looks to be Xavier Watts, who was just injured. Almost a huge interception.
Don Schuler was there in coverage too, but that would have been a highlight reel play by Watts. He's out on the sideline there. He used to lean back and jump, trying to catch it with 2 hands.
Odell
over his head.
Beckham. If Odell Beckham caught it with 2 hands, that's what it would have looked like.
You're exactly right about that. He ends up just batting it away. Still an important defensive play for the Irish to set up 3rd and short.
Yeah, huge play, and now it is with 12 minutes left on the clock here, 12:05, 3rd and 2, ball on the 32. Ethan Hampton in the gun, and Notre Dame takes a timeout. That is not what you want to see right now if you're Notre Dame. Maybe didn't like the look. They weren't ready. Maybe they had 10 guys on the field.
Just trying to drudge up a lot of trauma here, aren't you, Chris?
I'm sorry, Ryan.
First we make reference to the Marshall game.
That first half.
Which this feels very much like. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a moment in that game, I don't remember if it was the interception, what it was, but where the Notre Dame faithful they knew it was sort of over, and I don't think the field goal was quite like that. You know, There's a lot of game left to be played here, and if Notre Dame wins, I'm of the mind that, getting your weaknesses exposed is never good because your opponents see them, but you also see them, and this Notre Dame team is one we knew they would have to improve, and the areas they've been weak in, such as at the lines, have been the areas that we knew they'd need to improve upon.
100%, and Notre Dame now lining up. Again, 3rd and 2, 12:05 left here to play in the 3rd quarter. Ball on Notre Dame's 32. Ethan Hampton, the quarterback for NIU, to take the snap. Ontario Brown in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left, tight ends in help block, 1 receiver on the right. And Hampton takes a snap. It's a quick give to Brown to the right side, and he is taken down. Joshua Burnham with the tackle, and Notre Dame stops him on 3rd down.
That's Joshua Burnham's 2nd huge play of this ball game.
Yeah, Joshua Burnham is the one guy on defense right now that is really elevating his status and his place in the depth chart. He's actually a backup to R.J. Oman usually, but he's really shown why he deserves to start out here.
Absolutely.
Huge play.
He had no action against Texas A&M. 2 huge tackles today.
Yeah, and now a kick here from Kanan Woodall from NIU, and this one is from way downtown.
I think it's 53 yards, Chris.
53 yards. Wow. The kick is up, and the kick, it doesn't look that good, but it goes. No! It's not in. And Notre Dame Stadium erupts.
Well,
from the boot that was looking good, but all of a sudden it hooks to the outside. And no good, says the referees.
It was long. It had the distance. It was just low and I think a little bit wide left. Waiting for a replay here, but we thought Notre Dame would kind of come out with momentum. They didn't, but that was a huge stop. Maybe try to flip momentum the other way. They'll start out on their own 36.
Yeah, and Xavier Watts being hurt reminds me of Joe Burrow. But anyways, Chris Dailey, joined here by Ryan Murphy, WVFI. We are going to be back after the break to talk more Notre Dame football. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy, WVFI, voice of the Fighting Irish, and we are back for some more second half action. NIU 13, Notre Dame 7 with 11:17 left in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 here for the Notre Dame offense. Ryan, Notre Dame's ground game needs to get going. What are you thinking about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's only 67 yards on the ground for Notre Dame. They've split it between 5 different carriers on the ground. But last week at Texas A&M, they ran 34 times for 198 yards. Today, just 67.
Yeah,
maybe a credit to Texas, or maybe a credit to NIU's defense, but maybe an indictment of Mike Denmark's game plan here today.
Night and day difference indeed. 36-yard line now for Riley Leonard. That's where Notre Dame will line up here for their first drive of the half. Riley Leonard to take a snap. 3 receivers to the right. 1 in the backfield is Jeremiah Love. Man coverage here for NIU as Flanagan motions from right to left to help block, and it's a give to Love. Love is patient, finds a bit of a hole. He goes for a couple of yards before he's taken strongly to the ground.
The question really coming into this game, at least from the NIU perspective, would be whether that defense would hold up. We talked about them being veteran. We talked about them having some presence and something to prove coming into this game, but it's fair to ask whether it would hold up. They've held up quite well here today.
Yeah, and now Leonard taking the snap here, running the backfield. He drops back. He's going to throw. Finds it right across the middle of the field. It's Jaden Greathouse. Goes for a couple of yards. That was a big play in the first half that they connected on a lot, and they're carrying that on into the second half.
Absolutely. Those short passes right over the middle of the field have been working for Riley Leonard and Notre Dame, but you can't be one-dimensional. You can't rely just on those.
Yep. Riley Leonard in the gun. Love lined up right behind him. 2 tight end set. It's a give to Love. Love wheels to the outside, looking for the left side. However, he's taken down by a couple of NIU defenders. Not much of an opening there for him. And now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Ball on the 49-yard line with 10 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Yeah, we talked about the running left. That left side of Notre Dame's defensive line or offensive line is the inexperienced side.
So 2nd and 9 now. Riley Leonard throwing the ball, running the ball. He's done it all today. Trying to put it all together now in one drive, though, as Love moves from the backfield to the side of Leonard. And now Leonard drops back, looking to the near side of the field. He has a man, and it's brought in by Chris Mitchell. It's a first down for the Irish. Huge gain right on the outside of the field was Chris Mitchell snagging it in. A little toe tap right there to bring that one in.
Mitchell's been around it today, but that's only his second reception. The first one just went for 3 yards, so nice to see him getting back in the game plan. The Irish need him not only in this game but this season.
Yes, only 1 reception last week against A&M. Now Leonard taking the snap. Mitch Evans in to help block here. And it's a give to Love. Love goes for a couple yards, powering down the field towards the 30-yard line. He's tackled just shy. It's about a 6-yard gain. Or 7, excuse me. 2nd and 3rd now. Ball on the 34.
7-yard gain. Great job here opening up the lane there by Cooper Flanagan in the center, Ashton Craig.
Riley Leonard, 2 receivers to the right. Love in the backfield. Takes the snap. It's a give to Love. Love has yards, and he hurdles a defender. Love going. Touchdown, Irish! Jeremiah Love. Huge touchdown for Jeremiah Love. And Notre Dame ties the game up 13-13. And it was a huge run for Jeremiah Love. And we talked about SportsCenter earlier. Well, that hurdle right there had this place looking at Jeremiah Love. Wow, what a play.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You want to talk about SportsCenter Top 10? That's number 1 tomorrow, Chris.
Oh, 100%. And now the kick here from Mitch Jeter as he's lining it up. Wow, you can hear the roar of Notre Dame Stadium in the back. Watching the replay, Mitch Jeter's kick is good. And the Irish, on their first drive of the second half, take a lead, and they're back in the game, 14-13 in favor of Notre Dame. We talk about them needing momentum. That's exactly what they got right there.
Yes, absolutely. And not only did Jeremiah Love score, which is what Notre Dame needed most in this game, but he brought the crowd to its feet with that.
Yeah, there we go. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy. We have 8:34 left on the clock in the third quarter. We're going to be right back for some more action on WVFI Radio, voice of the Fighting Irish. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy at Notre Dame Stadium, WVFI Radio, voice of the Fighting Irish. Ryan, what a touchdown by Jeremiah Love.
Yep, we were waiting for that Notre Dame run game to break out, and Jeremiah Love did just that, didn't he?
They listened to you, Ryan. They did indeed. That was huge, much needed, and you can feel the energy now at Notre Dame Stadium, something we couldn't say in the second quarter.
6 plays, 64 yards in 2 minutes and 43 seconds. That was a get-back drive by Notre Dame. It wasn't pretty by any means until the end. I think it's fair to call that hurdle pretty.
Oh, for sure. What a play and what a drive for the Irish as Mitch Jeter is to kick it. And it looks like maybe Trayvon Rudolph. I know he was injured. Can't really make it out back there. But with 8:34 left to go here in the third quarter of action at Notre Dame Stadium, it's the Irish 14, NIU 13. You're listening on WVFI Radio. And Mitch Evans with the kick way downtown. And it's going to be a fair catch for NIU, so they're going to set up at the 25. And it's going to be a drive where NIU can see if they can use Ontario Brown a little more and keep on pushing ahead.
So just to add off that last thing I was talking about it not being pretty, that's how Notre Dame's got to win this game. You come into these week 2 contests after the letdown. We talked about Marshall. We talked about Toledo and Ball State and the history that's there. You have to win these games not pretty. You have to be okay with that, especially when you're losing entering the second half of play. They're not going to put up 40 points in this half. They just have to win the ball game and keep their season and their hopes for the playoff alive.
End of the day, that's exactly what it is, Ryan. You hit the nail on the head right there as Ethan Hampton under center, Ontario Brown in the backfield. 2 receivers stacked out to the right, 1 out left. Man coverage for the Irish. What else? Partridge motions from right to left, and it's a handoff to Brown. Who else? Brown goes around a couple of Irish defenders before he's tackled by Boubacar Traore. And 2nd and 8 now for NIU.
Traore's looked good in this game. That's his second major tackle. He had a tackle for loss earlier. It wasn't quite a sack, but it was. I think it was a direct handoff in that, though.
Yeah, he's been involved. He's been getting active. And this Irish defense, maybe a little early, but they're looking a little more physical. As Ethan Hampton now in the backfield. Brown behind him. 2 tight ends set. Brock Lampy, one of them. And now Hampton runs away. Wildcat for Ontario Brown. And Brown goes to the left, and he runs for a couple of yards before he's taken down on the left side of the field. So the direct snap to Brown goes for about 7 yards, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2 on the 33.
3rd and 2. Notre Dame has not gotten NIU to 3 and out in this game, if I can recall correctly. If you want to talk about momentum switches, it has to be the defense to do it here for the Irish now.
Yeah, they want to get the Huskies off the field. That's the goal right here. And wow, Notre Dame Stadium is rocking, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd down, they're making some noise here.
Shadows creeping across the field. They're playing the snap from the left hash mark in the sun.
Now, I formation. Brown gets it. No, play action. Hampton looking. He finds his man, and it's called for a 1st down.
Ethan Hampton's pass is complete to Tristan Davis.
How about Tristan Davis?
Yeah, Tristan. Yeah, first catch of the game for him, and all of a sudden, Ethan Hampton with one of his first actual completions of the day. That doesn't go for about 80 yards.
The creativity and different schemes that we've seen from NIU today have been great. We saw, I think it was a Statue of Liberty trick play in the first half, an I formation right there. Yeah. You know, they've been far more creative on the offensive side of the ball than Notre Dame has, frankly.
And that's what they need to do, though, with not as much talent on this side of the ball. And again in Wildcat, it's Ontario Brown taking the snap, and Brown goes to the left side. Doesn't have much of a hole, however, he powers forward for about 3 yards anyways.
Yeah, when you're running back the cornerstone of your offense, you're absolutely right. You have to get creative. And Notre Dame, for all the talk about the NFL style defense, it's been those kind of different looks that they haven't seemed ready for today, though.
Yeah, it's very creative, and I don't think any football team is prepared for some of these plays in the offseason, to be fair. 14-13, 5:50 left here to go. 2nd and 7 on their own 48, NIU to throw. Ethan Hampton hasn't been too active in the passing game. He had 328 yards last week for 5 touchdowns, and now it's in Ontario Brown in the backfield. Hampton under center. 2 receivers to the left. Partridge motions left to right. It's a handoff to Brown, and Brown's going. Bounces to the left side, lowers to shoulder, and he's tackled.
Kingston Villamuasa got in there on the tackle. Riley Mills, though, had him all wrapped up and dove and just missed the tackle. And Brown picked up probably almost 5 more yards after that missed tackle there by Riley Mills.
Yeah,
a veteran guy on this Notre Dame line, you don't see that often.
No, not at all. And I don't know if Brown has a bunch of Vaseline on him or he's just that strong. But he's been avoiding a lot of tackles today. Now Ethan Hampton under center. Looks like it's going to be a give to Brown. No, it's a quarterback hurry right up the middle of the field. A little tush push, and it's a 1st down. They gain about 1 yard. That's all they needed. 1st down and 10 now on the 34.
And NIU's got a lot of confidence in this offensive scheme here. And just a tush push.
Excuse me, on the 44. Yeah, tush push. A little Philadelphia Eagles action.
Don't have a great history of push things happening in this stadium, Chris.
No. And now 2 receivers stacked out to the right. Hampton under center. Brown in the backfield. And it's a jet sweep and going for a couple of yards there. is George Demopoulos on NIU before he's taken out of bounds. However, there's a flag. We're going to see what that's on. You see anything, Ryan? Holding.
Well, they've just announced it. I didn't see, but it looked, I sort of assumed that it had been on the offense here. We're seeing NIU get a little bit more involved. Yep, Ben Morrison gets held.
Yeah,
just missed the
Jake
numbers
Applegate,
there.
who was
right.
at Nebraska for 2 years, transferred to NIU this past offseason. Former 6 overall player in Nebraska, so huge player that NIU has on their team. Big-time talent. 2 receivers stacked close to the line to the right. Brown in the backfield, Hampton in the shotgun. It's a quick give to Brown. Brown goes to the outside left, near side of the field. He's taken down. Didn't really gain anything on that play.
We're seeing NIU get some more players involved in the offense there. We saw Demopoulos. I know that play came back as actually paused that thought because we have an NIU player down on the field. It is late in the game. I feel like it is also, and maybe this is because we were high above the play and the sun is starting to shine right into our face, but it does feel like this is the hottest part of the day. It's not crazy hot.
It was cold walking into the press box, and then we get here, and it's a sauna. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to lose a couple pounds calling this game. However, player is down.
Well, that might
Can't
be the
make
stress,
out who
Chris.
it is. Yeah, maybe the stress of the first college gig.
Well, not even the first college gig. First college gig is rather stressful one if you're a Notre Dame fan. It's J.J. Lippy, the senior lineman.
Yeah, Lippy is down. He's off the field going into the 10th there.
Lippy,
NIU is going to reset this play. Ontario Brown, meanwhile, has his helmet off. He's running on the sideline.
A simple message.
Excuse me, actually Trayvon Rudolph, that is. So Rudolph looks like he's trying to warm back up. And Trayvon Rudolph, if he comes back into the game, that's another threat Notre Dame's going to have to look out for. Well, we're going to be back shortly. It looks like we have a bit of a break for TV timeout here at Notre Dame Stadium. So Chris Dailey with Ryan Murphy, WVFI Radio. Be back in a minute. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy on WVFI Radio. Ryan, Notre Dame has been flying in the second half so far, but now they need to stop this NIU offense. What are you looking at so far in the second half?
Flying is maybe not the word I would use for it, although they have looked a lot better.
Yeah.
I would say they're waking up. You know what I mean? I feel like the offense waked up with the Love score, and the defense, well, they got a little bit of a help from a hold there, right? But 2nd and 14 here at midfield, they seem to be waking up as well.
Yeah, I'm a little excited right now, so I'm going to say flying, but putting some points on the board, and that's exactly what Notre Dame needed to do. But
that
I
was
agree.
more of a criticism of you as much as my opinion. I can be a sour Notre Dame fan every now and then, and Notre Dame fans have the overly critical type to them.
Of course. Well, Ethan Hampton in the shotgun to receive the snap here. It is 2nd and 14, ball on the 48, 3:38 left to play here in the third quarter, and it's a quick handoff to Ontario Brown, Gavin Williams. Somebody finally else besides Brown gets it. That's a first as Gavin Williams goes for 7 yards, so 3rd and 7 now.
Jaden Osbury on the tackle there for Notre Dame. This is another big 3rd down here for Notre Dame. Similar area to the last one where they got NIU to force a long field goal.
Yeah, and I don't even think this is field goal range for NIU right now. So 3rd and 7, Notre Dame's going to need something huge. Partridge motioning left to right, now back to the right. 1 in the backfield, 3 receivers to the right. Hampton drops back, looking for a quick slant cross to center of the field, and it's deflected.
Jordan Clark on the breakup for Notre Dame. We didn't see much nickel against Texas A&M, but that's 2 big pass breakups for Clark. The 5-year transfer after Arizona
Real quickly,
State.
Ryan, look at this. 4th and 7, and NIU is going for it, maybe trying to get Notre Dame off sides so they can back up the punt a little, and that's exactly what they're trying to do right now.
Well, we still got 20 seconds left on the play clock. A lot of motion.
Yeah, Partridge always motioning, and Cam Thompson as well. You wonder, are they going to do something here? And they do. Oh, wow, Ethan Hampton takes a snap and punts it himself. The quarterback punting it. And it goes into the end zone after a couple of bounces. It's a Bill Belichick type play if I've ever seen one.
Yep, I like it. I like it out of NIU, trying to get Notre Dame to blink a little bit. You know, that's not what NIU wanted on that drive. I know they wanted to score, but they ate some more clock up. And a lot of their drives in this game, if you look through them, they're not all that long. I mean, all of their scoring drives in the first half were under 3 minutes. That one was their longest drive of the game at 5:43. So, you know, they're trailing by 1. They need a score there, sure, you could say, but I like the fact that they at least ate clock there.
Yeah, they're going pound for pound right now against Notre Dame, and now it's Riley Leonard on the 20-yard line. Notre Dame looking to do something after a huge touchdown from Jeremiah Love. 2 receivers to the right, tight end is in to help block, and it's a handoff, and going to the outside is Jadarian Price. Doesn't gain much on the play. In fact, gains just a yard.
And I'm just going to add more to my previous point there. I say that because I think the later this game goes, where NIU is still within a point or it's still close, the better it is for them, right? They still want to eat clock even though they're down by 1.
Yeah, 100%. They want to put pressure on this Notre Dame team. Now 2 receivers to the left. Riley Leonard to take the snap here. Drops back. Leonard looking to the left. Fires. Has a man. It's Jaden Thomas for a short reception, about 2 yards. So 3rd and 5 now, 4 yards.
I haven't seen much of Thomas today. That's his first reception of the game, and he looked rather frustrated afterwards. Kind of slapped the ground after he was tackled right away, unable to escape. And we do have another injured Husky on the field here.
Yeah, another injured Husky, and we are going to take a break here on... No, we're not. Look at that. They're fixing the clock. So a minute timeout here. Can't make out who it is on the field, but for Notre Dame, Ryan, it's been a half where they got some points on the board, but what are you trying to see here? What can they do to put themselves into the red zone and, of course, punch it in?
Well, I just want to make a point about the conditioning first. We've seen a couple NIU guys go down in the second half, and one of the takeaways from A&M was that you would see A&M guys cramping up and getting hurt frequently, and no Notre Dame player did. I think we've had one Notre Dame man down today. But, I mean, that kind of lends well into your point, Chris, is that Notre Dame is the deeper team, is a stronger team. They can outlast an NIU if they stay in it, right? Their longest drive as well was their first drive, that over 6 minute drive. Hold on to the ball. I mean, it starts with this third down conversion, right?
Yeah. And now on the left hash mark, speaking of the third down conversion, it's 3rd and 5 here for the Irish. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Riley Leonard to take the snap. Motioning now is Greathouse, right to left, and Leonard takes the snap, dropping back, looking towards the middle of the field, has time, now he has to roll out, pressure's being applied. Leonard's running, he throws it, has a man, is it caught? No! The ref says no, it was a toe tap right on the near side of the field, and the ball is incomplete. Was looking for Chris Mitchell on that one, and the Irish are forced to punt.
And you know what? Jashawn Prophet was actually closer than Chris Mitchell to that ball. He's been around it today, and he almost had a pick there for NIU deep in Notre Dame territory. Another drive stalls out for the Irish, and, you know, I know the pocket collapses around Riley Leonard there, but it held up for a while. Good coverage by NIU in the secondary.
Yeah,
he didn't have any
coverage.
options.
Leonard just did not have anywhere to throw, as James Rendell's punt is a bit of a banana kick right there. Didn't have much spin, and right on the, what is that, the 36, 40-yard line, 1st and 10 now for NIU.
Luke Talich had the tackle there, and yep, Notre Dame bet on James Rendell. I mean, he's not your typical story out of a punter. 24-year-old Australian, played in the Victoria Football League for the Frankston Dolphins from 2019 to 2023. They bet on him coming over here, and it's little details like a punter that win you playoff games. And he hasn't looked great, hasn't looked bad.
He's still learning American football.
He's still learning American football. No doubt he's got a boot there. That one just a bit low.
Yeah. And now Hampton to take the snap, fakes it to Brown, play action, rolls out to the right. Hampton running himself through the middle of the field, and he goes for a first down. So fresh set of downs.
Hampton, just all sorts of room out there. He rolls right. That's the design run. He rolls right, and he looks out, right? And he actually, ran well outside the perimeter of the offensive line, and he kind of looks out like, oh my gosh, I have so much room out here. He didn't expect it. He could have turned around 2-3 seconds earlier. He's looking at the sideline. Could have turned to look upfield 3 seconds earlier and still have that much room to run. This is where I will be very open about acknowledging my limits to my knowledge of football, but it's plays like that in this Notre Dame defense, for as high as their build, that I don't particularly understand and have been baffling, I think, probably for even the more knowledgeable football fans today.
Yeah, and I think they bit because Ontario Brown's been getting so many carries. They kind of went with Brown right there on the play action, and then Hampton, as you mentioned, he rolled out, and he had all the time in the world to run.
So another NIU player down there while we were chatting about Hampton's run. So that continues to be something to watch.
It's actually Ontario Brown, so that is a huge loss for this NIU team. Ontario Brown, number 1, is being carried off the field into the tent, and it doesn't look good. He is limping, and he can't even walk right now. So that is not good for the NIU Huskies offense.
He is favoring that right leg, and he had to be supported off the field into the tent. Great catch by you, Chris.
And on the right hash mark, it is Hampton throwing all the way to the opposite side of the field. Looking for Grayson Barnes, 2022 JUCO All-American. Couldn't bring it in. Bit of an overthrow right there. Tight coverage, though, however, from this Irish defense. It was Jalen Sneed right there with the coverage.
Yeah, great job by Jalen Sneed there. He does get contact on the intended target, but he doesn't turn around to look at the ball. It's close, but I don't think that was a catchable pass. Yeah. Good non-call by the officials.
Well, 14-13 here. Notre Dame's in the lead. 1:06 left to go. Ball's on the 50-yard line. 2nd and 10 here for NIU. I formation. And now they're going to switch it up. Hampton now in the shotgun. 2 receivers lined up to the left. And it's a quick handoff going to the outside. And NIU goes to the left side of the field. Gavin Williams picks up about 8 yards. So actually a good chunk of yardage on that play there for NIU.
Big 3rd down. Right about time the Irish fans get introduced to Gavin Williams. Ontario Brown's been good. Williams is no scrub, though. The backup transferred after spending 2020 to 2022 at Iowa. 95 carries, 488 yards, and 3 touchdowns last year. He's going to step into the spotlight in a big way, especially if Brown stays in that tent.
Yeah, 1,000 career yards heading in today. As Hampton now, are they going to throw or are they going to run? 3rd and 1, most likely run. It's a quick snap, and it's a give to Williams. Williams goes to the left. However, he's tackled. He's brought down. But there's a flag on the field. We're going to see what the call is.
Jaden Osbury got to the tackle, and the flag is against NIU.
So a huge play there, a huge stop on 3rd down for this Notre Dame team.
Absolutely a huge stop, Chris. And they just announced it
holding
here in the building. So holding against Logan Schernitz, the center.
And NIU is backed up. Ball is now on their own 41. A bit of a difference from being in enemy territory all the way into their own backfield, 9 yards.
Yep, and NIU's last 4 drives. Punt, missed field goal attempt, punt. And they look to be punting here again. Yeah. As the time going to run out here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, that is the end of the 3rd quarter. So it is 14-13 in favor of the Irish. The ball will be placed on NIU's 49-yard line. 3rd down and 11. And we have a TV timeout, do we, Ron?
Indeed we do.
So Chris Dailey, joined here by Ryan Murphy, will be back on WVFI Radio. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy at Notre Dame Stadium. It's the 4th quarter of football for the home opener. Listening to WVFI Radio, voice of the Fighting Irish. Ryan, only 14 points today. People were expecting 40, 50 from Notre Dame. So what can the Irish do to get some more points, and what can they also do now to stop this NIU defense?
Offense. They're going to get the ball back. NIU 4 of 11 on 3rd down, so relatively good against this Irish defense, which came into the game with a pretty good 3rd down percentage, a much better one against Texas A&M than last year. They need to stop right here, Chris.
They do indeed. Ethan Hampton to take the snap. Gavin Williams in the backfield. As you remember, Ontario Brown is injured. Hampton drops back, looking, and he has a man on the left side of the field, Grayson Barnes. And I was talking to you earlier in the game, Grayson Barnes was playing junior college football 2 years ago where he was an All-American, and now he's at Notre Dame Stadium making some big plays.
Yeah, he was a big target last week against Western. 5 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown, including a 60-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah, good little out route there from Grayson Barnes. And now with 2 receivers to the right, under center is Ethan Hampton. Backfield's Williams. Partridge motioning right to left. I'm not going to give it to him. They're going to give it to Williams instead. And Williams goes for a yard, but he's swarmed down by an absolute onslaught of Notre Dame defenders.
Yeah, Osbury and Jalen Sneed. I think he was more Osbury. I think the PA might have that one wrong. I mean, not very wrong. Not very usually is the PA wrong. Jaden Osbury did a nice job. He's having himself a nice game at middle linebacker here today.
Yeah, he's been making some plays. 2nd and 9 now for the NIU Huskies. Ball on the Notre Dame 37-yard line.
NIU is not going to go away, Chris.
No, they are not. They keep pecking and they keep knocking on the door, but they need some points here. That would be vital for them as they're in this territory. Ethan Hampton under center. It's a quick jet sweep now to Gavin Williams, it looks like. Yes, it is. And Williams goes for a couple of yards before he's taken out. 3rd and 4 now. 5-yard gain on the play.
Watch on the tackle there for the Irish on the jet sweep. Another big 3rd down. They got their last 3rd down conversion at 5 of 12. NIU, I think it's fair to say at this point, they've been good on 3rd down. They've gotten some clutch 3rd down conversions, getting more comfortable in the passing game as well. Saw that last one to Barnes. This one a bit of a shorter range on 3rd and 4. We'll see what they pull out.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 here.
And look who's back on the field, Chris.
Oh, and Tario Brown is back on the field. He's running all of a sudden. We got Michael Secret stuff in the 10, and he gets the snap, and Brown goes for a couple of yards. He's trucking. We're going to see what the ref says. It's a close call. Very close call. There's a bit of a scrum, and he gets 2 yards. The ref says no, so 4th and 2 now for NIU on the 30-yard line, and they have a decision to make here.
Man, this is a huge decision. 4th and 2 in Notre Dame territory. You can go for the kick. Your kicker's been pretty good today. 2 field goals.
It looks like they're actually going to go for it, though. Seeing Grayson Barnes and Gavin Williams checking onto the field, and Tario Brown is off the field.
You could put the pressure on the Notre Dame offense with a kick. We'll see if they try to draw. I think they're going for this.
Yeah, they are going for this. In the shotgun. Trips formation. Hampton takes a snap on the right hash mark, looking to the left. He has Williams, and the ball, he doesn't catch it. The ball hits the ground. And they go for it on 4th and don't get it. And the Notre Dame Fighting Irish get a big break and a big stop there on 4th down.
What an end to the drive by Jaden Osbury. He's instrumental in forcing NIU to blink there, Chris. NIU just blinked. If you think you can win this game, you kick the field goal, you put pressure on the Notre Dame offense. They blinked. They do not. I mean, I'm not going to say they don't think they can win the game, because obviously you're going to have confidence in your club, but you're always looking for those moments in a game where the coach's confidence. Are you going to put pressure on the offense, or are you going to try to go for it right here, right? And I don't think Notre Dame's offense has been great. If I'm him, I'd probably kick that field goal.
Yeah, if I learned one thing watching Notre Dame football games with my dad, it's to kick the damn ball. That's what he always says. And they didn't kick it on that one. And we have a 2-minute TV timeout. So Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy. We're going to see you guys right after the break here on WVFI, voice of the Fighting Irish. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy on WVFI Radio. A huge stop for the Fighting Irish on 4th down, and they have the ball now on their own 30-yard line, trying to go 70 yards down the field. We've seen them do it once. Can they do it again, Ryan?
Yeah, you know, we talked about it a little bit. I don't know if I fully got my point across there. I was a little excited. I tend to get excited when watching football games. It's a thing, you know. But you're always looking for moments in a game where one team blinks, right? It's a staring contest, and this game has been a staring contest. It's kind of been a rock fight. As much as that term was used against Texas A&M, this has been a rock fight. It hasn't been pretty for either team. And Texas and NIU with a key decision there. I don't like the decision to go for it. I think I've made that pretty clear.
The Irish take over at the 30.
Yeah.
But you have a chance to take the lead there. In reasonable distance, you've hit 2 field goals from that. I don't understand it.
Interesting call indeed as Riley Leonard takes a snap and he throws it out to the right. Looks like a wide receiver screen almost to Jaden Greathouse, and he goes for about 2 yards. So 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8 now.
We'll see what we get. We're still waiting for Riley Leonard to take a shot downfield. And from what I've seen today, I don't think the offensive line holds up long enough, and his arm is right now strong and accurate enough to get one of those off, but man, would this place pop if he could.
Yeah, on the right hash mark now, 3 receivers to the left. It's a quick handoff to Jeremiah Love, who won the game for Notre Dame against Texas A&M last week, and it's a good run. He goes to the outside, has a hole, and he goes for about 3 yards, so now 5 yards to go. It's 3rd and 5 on the 35. And speaking of that, Marcus Freeman actually talked about Riley Leonard throwing down the field before the game, and he said he doesn't know if Riley Leonard's there right now, and if they don't really want to test that out this week. So we may see it later down the line, but right now doesn't look to be the case. Now Leonard takes a snap. 3 receivers lined up to the left. Mitchell Evans motioning left to right. Leonard takes a snap. It's a good snap, looking across the field to Greathouse, and he throws it not to Greathouse. A bit of a miscommunication there, and we saw that against Texas A&M last week, and it's a quick 3 and out for Notre Dame.
Jashawn Pruffy, and listen, this is a problem with the short game for Notre Dame right now, is you force yourself into these third down situations pretty regularly, and they're only 3 for 10 now on third downs. You're going to have to punt and look to hold on to that 1-point lead with the defense again.
Yeah, and it's 4th down and 5 with 10:58 here to go. Ball on the 35, as you mentioned. Big punt from the Australian James Rendell, who we talked about earlier in the broadcast. And that punt, it's got some juice on it. Oh, it goes way back, and Dane Partridge takes it. And Dane Partridge goes right. Now he goes left, and he goes through a couple of defenders before he's tackled. And we have a fumble on the field. There's a scrum. Speaking of Australia, we got a rugby scrum on the field, and we're all looking at the ref to see what he says. Notre Dame's pointing to the end zone, and this would be huge. What's the call? The ref is trying to find the ball right now. He's finding a needle in the haystack almost.
It looks like NIU held on to it.
Yes.
Yep.
And NIU holds on to it, so a fumble there from Dane Partridge. However, NIU saves what could have been really, really bad for the Huskies.
It looks like Drake Bowen maybe popped the ball out. No. Yep. Who is it? We're looking at the replay here on the screen. There's a number of Notre Dame players who popped the ball out. No, it was Luke Talich who popped the ball out.
Talich, good play there.
And Notre Dame forced 2 turnovers at Texas A&M, and that was a key part of that game. The Irish have not been able to do so. I will say, I feel like the defense, for as slow a start as they got off to, have definitely gotten better as the game has gone on here.
Yep.
NIU's thrown a lot of looks at them.
Now under center on the 30-yard line. It's a quick handoff to Gavin Williams towards the left side of the field, and he navigates about 2.5 yards on 1st down and 10 there.
But I mean, the Irish offense, as we're starting to see, like, kind of can rely on the defense forcing a turnover, and they haven't done so in this game. And it's just something to note when you think about the comparisons from Notre Dame's performance last game to this game. It makes a big difference in the game. Not only momentum, but also field position.
Oh, for sure. And now Ethan Hampton with 2 tight ends set on 2nd and 6 on the 33. We got about 10 minutes here to go in the 4th quarter. He fires it across the middle of the field. Oh, my, what a catch there. Very safe hands.
Wow. Yeah, that was
George Demopoulos with the catch.
You know, talking about near turnovers, Morrison and Kingston Villamil Asa were right there.
Yeah.
Threw it right into double coverage.
Yeah, Hampton just fired that one. Absolute missile right across the middle of the field. And a great catch from Demopoulos to snag that one in. And now it's Hampton from the middle of the field here.
I think if he doesn't haul that in, that's a pick.
Yeah, I agree. 4-man rush for the Irishster, showing a blitz and a tackle there. It is Drake Bowen with the tackle. Drake Bowen also on the football team here, or baseball team at Notre Dame. He is on the football team.
He's definitely on the football team.
I think he is. I'm not too sure.
Dual sport athlete, one of a couple dual sport athletes on this team. Of course, we never really talked about it this game, but Jordan Faison, one of the Irish wide receivers, plays lacrosse as well, and out for this game, out 1 to 2 weeks with an ankle sprain. So Notre Dame missing him today, probably.
Tough loss. He's a really explosive receiver. Now on the right hash mark, it's NIU under center. Ethan Hampton to take the snap. Demopoulos motions left to right. Hampton gives it to Gavin Williams, being pushed by his offensive line, going for a couple of yards on the left side of the field. And he goes for 3 yards. It's now 3rd and 5 from their own 45.
Irish linebackers are stepping up here. Drake Bowen and Kingston Viliamu Asa holding off a scrum of NIU Huskies there to set up a third down and manageable.
Yeah, so big third down here for Notre Dame. The blue and gold looking for a huge stop. 3 receivers lined up to the right. Gavin Williams in the backfield. Ethan Hampton under center. Takes a snap. Drops back. Looking across middle of the field. Ball is batted up. Not intercepted. However, it's deflected. And it goes incomplete. So a huge, huge play there on third down. And it's 4th down and 5 now. NIU Huskies forced to punt.
BMO with a big play for the Irish there. Got a hand on that pass. He led the team with 10 pass breakups last year. Obviously freshman All-American 2 years ago. That's why he's on the short list for the NFL draft. And at the end of this season, for the studs in the defensive backfield for Notre Dame. And he comes through with a big play there to again force NIU to punt.
Yeah, big height difference on that play, too. Benjamin Morrison gets up there. Athletic play from him as that punt goes high. And it is caught by Jaden Greathouse with a fair catch on the 25-yard line. So with 7:49 to go, Irish are in the lead 14-13. They have the ball. It'll be 1st down and 10 when we return on WVFI. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy. Welcome back to WVFI, voice of the Fighting Irish. It is 14-13. The Irish have a chance to put some more points on the board. Ryan, how you feeling headed into the last 7.5 minutes of this game?
It's a critical drive for Notre Dame. I mean, you can't keep leaving this a one-point game. I think that's, it might sound obvious, right? But Northern Illinois their drives have been getting pushed back more and more, right? But they've looked explosive. They showed that they can have big play power, and a play can change this game. Notre Dame needs to go up by at least a score here. And this is the time to do it. 7:49, hold on to the ball, run it down their throats.
Huge opportunity for the Irish indeed. Riley Leonard pitches it outside to Jadarian Price, and Price goes to the outside right side of the field and just shy of the 1st down marker. 2nd and 3, so big gain, 7 yards there on 1st down.
4th carry of the afternoon for Jadarian Price. He adds to the 17-yard total he had previously. It's kind of been, hard to figure out Notre Dame's usage of the running backs here in this game. Like, you've had Devin Ford play more snaps than we thought he would. Jeremiah Love, obviously the A running back so far, but Price out here for a drive down.
And now on the right hash mark, Leonard takes a snap on 2nd and 3, avoids a defender and fires it far side of the field. And Bo Collins snags it, so it's a 1st down. Huge gain there, and the chains move for Notre Dame. 8-yard gain.
Yeah, that's a real interesting play because Riley Leonard's under pressure, about to get hit. His arm gets hit, but a Notre Dame offensive lineman has the Husky all wrapped up. He's able to get the pass off, and he has time there. It puts together a nice pass. That kind of shows me that Riley Leonard may have more of a passing arm than he showed so far in this game if he had a little more time.
Yeah, and now a low snap here. Very similar play. Bo Collins snags it. Moss is the receiver, and yet another 1st down there. The exact same play call, and Bo Collins with a huge 1st down. So back-to-back 1st downs now.
And same thing there. He had a little bit more time, was able to connect with Collins. They've shown a bit of chemistry, and maybe a developing story to watch on this drive. Are we seeing the breakout of a true wide receiver 1 for Notre Dame?
We might be.
They haven't had one in their first 2 games, I think, so far. Collins looked the best at Texas A&M. Those are 2 big catches right there.
Yeah, 19 yards. So it's actually 2nd and 1 now, but Leonard has all the time in the world. Drops back, looking deep, intercepted. Intercepted by Amarin Knighton. He was looking for the money ball to Chris Mitchell all the way to the end zone, but underthrew it and right into the hands of the 6-foot nothing cornerback. And Amarin Knighton comes up big for the NIU Huskies. A huge, huge turnover with 5:55 left in this game.
Well, we talked about Leonard with more time. Maybe he could stretch the field a little bit more. We saw Notre Dame growing in that passing game, and the pass is accurate. It's just underthrown. Intended for Chris Mitchell on the left hash mark down around the 20-yard line. And Knighton does a great job, the sophomore. I mean, it's really thrown right to him. Yeah. I know we're going to break, but they just showed a picture on the scoreboard of Leonard, and he got a little bit of a smile on his face. It's a grimace, right? Obviously not like, ha, 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 that's fine, whatever, right? But the Notre Dame offense hasn't exactly been fan favorites here today. They were booed off the field at the end of the first half. The Boo Birds have been out throughout the course of this game. Seeing that attitude, maybe just all right, we'll get them next time, shrug it off a little bit. That lends itself to a growth mindset that's going to help the Irish if they can get out of this game. NIU is going to threaten right here.
Yeah, but we'll find out next after the break here on WVFI Radio, Voice of the Fighting Irish. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy. We'll see you guys soon. Chris Dailey joined here by Ryan Murphy back on WVFI Sports Network, Voice of the Fighting Irish. Ryan, 5:55 here to go. NIU has the ball on the 50-yard line after a huge interception by Amarian Knighton. They're going to chew the clock. What is NIU's strategy headed into this drive?
You just said it. Chew the clock, right? They have great field position. That pick happened, at the 20, 25? They picked up about 30 yards after the interception there. They're out at midfield. They got 5:55 left on the clock. Wind things down. That lends itself well to the way NIU's play today. They keep the ball on the ground. We're not going to see, I would imagine we're not going to see much more than that, right? They trail by a point here. It's obviously not tight enough on time where they can kick a field goal and win it. But, man, we talked about putting pressure on the Notre Dame offense. They could really do it here.
Yeah, this is the definition of pressure on the Notre Dame offense. Two tight end set, and Gavin Williams is going to get the handoff here on first down, and he has a hole, and he goes, and he's taken down by Drake Bowen eventually. However, he explodes for a huge 9-yard gain there on first down right through the center of the offensive line.
And you know, why is it important that they put pressure on Notre Dame? Because we found out, and 77,000 fans have found out, Riley Leonard's not a finished product. We kind of knew that coming in, right? But if there was any question, and for those of you who didn't know that, there's no question about it now. How will he perform under pressure is not a sure thing.
Yeah, he hasn't had much college football experience under his belt with the injury last year, so he hasn't even played in a while.
First game at Notre Dame Stadium.
And now the handoff again to Williams on second down. It was 2nd and 2, and he goes and gains a yard, so 3rd down and 1 now. They have 3 feet to go with 5 minutes left here. Ball on the 41.
And these are the big moments that you build this Notre Dame defense up for. They need to stop here, now, not after the next first down, not after the next set of plays. The Irish need to force NIU to make a decision now.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge play, a game-changing play perhaps. Williams in the backfield, and it's a jet sweep to Grayson Barnes. No one was expecting that one. We talk about creative play calling, and that's exactly what it is. They move the chains, NIU, and it's first down and 10. So Grayson Barnes from the right side of the line goes all the way to the left for the jet sweep there and gains 2 yards.
I don't even have words, after my little pep talk for the Notre Dame defense there. NIU creeping into field goal range. They don't want a field goal. I'll add to that in a minute.
Yeah, well.
Call the play.
There we go. In the middle of the field here on the Notre Dame 39, Gavin Williams gets the handoff, and he's swallowed by the Notre Dame defensive line. Lots of pressure. Howard crossed the 3rd, applying the most amount of pressure, and it is now 2nd down and 12. He actually loses 2 yards on the play.
If there were any regrets after going for it on 4th and 2 and not getting it, NIU's looking at a chance to redeem that here as the clock ticks down. Even higher stakes, right? Now, I don't know what the right decision is going to be, but Notre Dame can set the odds in their favor by stopping them as soon as possible. Groundbreaking analysis, I know, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, well, 4-man rush here for the Irish. 2 receivers to the right. Hampton drops back, has Partridge. It's a quick slant across the middle of the field. And then he goes to the left, just shy. It's actually 3rd and 4, so 4 yards to go on the 33-yard line. However, 8-yard gain there for Dane Partridge.
NIU 6 of 15 on 3rd down. 6 of 15.
And we'll see what can happen here as they huddle up with 2:47 to go. 3rd and 4, 14-13. Notre Dame Fighting Irish, number 5 in the country, in the lead here at Notre Dame Stadium, home opener. On the left hash mark, Ethan Hampton and the NIU Huskies now to take the snap. He drops back, rolls to the right, and he has Gavin Williams, who's quickly taken down.
All right.
It's
Andrew McElroy.
actually Andrew McElroy, excuse me.
Here we go. Decision time. They are well inside field goal range.
Yeah, so 4th and 2. It was only a 2-yard gain, a very short pass there. And they are within field goal range. Do you take the points or do you learn from the mistakes of the past? And NIU's coaching staff, Thomas Hammock, actually has his hands on his head right now on the sidelines.
They're going for it again.
He says, we're going for it, darn it.
Wow.
So.
Oh,
No.
hold on.
It's a 2-minute warning, so they lined up for the 2-minute warning, and with 2 minutes left, it's 4th and 2, ball on the Notre Dame 31-yard line, and NIU has a decision to make, Ryan.
Whew, do they ever? We're leaving them on a cliffhanger, Chris.
Yeah, well, we'll be back soon on WVFI Radio, Voice of the Fighting Irish. Chris Dailey joined by Ryan Murphy. Chris Dailey joined by Ryan Murphy back here on WVFI Radio, Voice of the Fighting Irish. Ryan, NIU has been in this situation before. It's 4th down and short in enemy territory. Do you kick it? Do you go for it? Why so? Talk to me, Ryan.
Listen, they don't pay me the big bucks. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the right decision is. We know the context, though. Basically, the last drive, they were basically in the same spot on the field, 4th and 2. We're thinking, all right, put the pressure on the Irish offense, maybe kick a field goal, get a score, and make Notre Dame have to score. Notre Dame didn't score on their last drive. NIU also didn't kick the field goal. They went for it, didn't get it. Now, NIU is in this game because of their kicker. Keenan Woodhill has hit a 42 and a 21-yard field goal. How do they come out here? It's within that range again.
Yeah, it is within that range.
This could be the game. I mean,
it looks like they're going for it, though.
wow. Wow. Woodhill he was 11-17 last year. Long was 49. He's got a boot, right? He's got a boot.
Yeah,
they must
he
just
does
not
have a
trust
boot.
him.
And Ethan Hampton is here, and it looks like they just want to put as many points on the board as they possibly can. And if they get this, it's going to be a designed maybe tush push. No, they fake the jet sweep, and now Hampton rolls out to the right, and he gets it himself to the right sideline. He dives, and he does just enough for a first down. So Ethan Hampton, quarterback keeper, fakes the jet sweep, rolls out to the right, and he gets a first down.
Wow. They go for it on 4th and 2 again, and props.
Yeah, that's a gutsy call there for Thomas Hammock. And he said that we wear the same pants as Notre Dame. So he was calling some shots before, and now it looks like it's going to be Wildcat here. Gavin Williams to take the snap. Direct snap to Williams. He goes straight up the gut for a couple of yards. Just actually 1 yard. So 2nd and 9 now with 1:47 left. It's a timeout for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Their second of the half, because if you remember, they took one in the third.
Yup. And you'd probably, right about now, like to have that one back.
You really do.
Talk about it then being like, and this is the details, right? And this has been the criticism of Marcus Freeman in his first 3 years as head coach. He's got pieces. It's been the details and the coaching side of the game that. Now, I'm not going to say that timeout. He's got more football knowledge than I do, right? Was necessarily a mistake, but you got to think that if there's more attention to detail in that moment, you have it in your pocket here, and you keep more time on the clock with NIU driving down your throat and a potential. This is a season, Chris. They lose to NIU, hopes of having a home playoff game here with the schedule as weak as it is ahead. They're out the window.
Even a college football playoff game, it's really up in the air if you lose to NIU.
Totally.
Yeah, so 2nd and 9 here from the 27. We got 1:47 left on the clock. Hampton to take the snap. Fullback in to help block. It's a give to Gavin Williams, and he goes straight down Main Street and goes for a couple of yards straight through the middle. It's 6-yard gain, so 3rd and 3 now. Ball on the 21. Time is ticking.
Listen, we're not going to talk big picture until this game is over, right?
We have an injury, actually, Ryan. Real quick. Joshua Burnham, who's had a phenomenal game thus far. And that is not what you want to see. If you're the Irish, you talk about the Irish not getting injured, and that's a rare injury right there for Notre Dame.
Yep, they've been in good shape. Burnham's a loss. He has played well today. If there's...
Yeah, he's been playing very physical, has had a phenomenal game thus far. And just, wow, we have a bit of a stoppage here. 3rd and 3, 14-13, NIU in enemy territory.
One thing to note, as the NIU fans are making themselves heard here, chants of NIU going around the stadium, it's still a full house too, folks. Runoff of 10 seconds because of a defensive injury. So Irish lose 10 seconds there. 123 now rather than 133. Costly.
That is a big note there, Ryan. And Ethan Hampton is back on the field here. Hampton is 10 for 19 today, 198 yards, 1 touchdown. A bit different than his 328-yard game, 5 touchdowns last week. However, he still put together a very solid game.
We're not going to talk big picture until this game is over. I said that. But you need to view this play in terms of the big picture. You need to view this play in terms of the season. Notre Dame needs a stop here to keep any of their expectations of the college football playoff, whatever you see it. Any of the expectations coming into Texas A&M, coming out of Texas A&M, coming into today, they need a stop here, or this becomes a nightmare for Notre Dame.
Yeah, so NIU is going to let the clock run. And it is a timeout.
Who took that timeout? Had to have been NIU.
It's an NIU timeout. Yep. Notre Dame still has 1 left, so 2 timeouts now left for Northern Illinois. About 43 seconds left here in the game. Again, 14-13.
Could run the time off the clock, kick a field goal, ironically, after choosing not to twice previously, and win this game.
I think that's what Thomas Hammock is going for. I think he's really just trying to wait for the last couple seconds. He doesn't want Notre Dame to get the ball back, because if you remember what happened when Notre Dame got the ball back in Texas A&M, Jeremiah Love, with 1:40 left, took it to the house. And then, of course, there was a big field goal at the end. Now, Ethan Hampton in the shotgun. Gavin Williams behind him. We haven't seen much of Tario Brown because of the injury, who's been the star player of the game. And it's a quick handoff to Williams. And Williams goes through the middle of the offensive line. There's a nice hole. And he gets it. Yeah, he's at the 18-yard line. So first down and 10. And Notre Dame is forced to take their final timeout of the half.
Wow.
So 36 seconds left, 1st and 10 on the Notre Dame 18. Northern Illinois with the ball, and they are marching towards that end zone. However, as Ryan and I just discussed, it looks like they're just really trying to get the time down and kick a field goal. And this field goal, man, there's going to be some pressure on Cannon Woodle.
Yeah, most pressure of his life. I mean, I'm looking at
a chip shot is a
chip
goals. Shot. However, we've seen in college football before, kickers notoriously, it's never a given.
No, but good from 42, good from 21.
So he's a very solid kicker.
He has a miss today. You know what it was? From 53. This is not a 53-yard field goal.
Well, as we talked about earlier, he will be kicking into the student section and the bands.
They said he didn't get it.
Oh, wow. So the play is under review. Good call there from Ryan. And, yeah, the refs are discussing right now.
I thought for sure.
Yeah, it's under further review. So now they're spotting it to be 4th and 1. I mean, just centimeters. Half a yard, they're saying. So almost 4th in inches. We're going to see what the call is. We're waiting here patiently as the refs discuss in the center of the field.
They haven't shown anything on the video board here, and maybe that's a harbinger. Maybe they see something and they don't want us to see it. We're getting a look here now. It certainly looks to me like he's got a first down, but that's not the camera angle you want to make a decisive judgment.
Marcus Freeman is on the field talking to some of the refs right now. So is Thomas Hammock, the NIU head coach, on opposite sides of the field, of course. And we're going to see what the call is. Long stoppage right now. And, I mean, this is a huge game-changing play, so they're going to take their time and make sure they have the right call here.
Wow. I know only one of those 3 games was under Marcus Freeman. That was Marshall, and they lost that game. Brian Kelly, when the team came out stinker in Week 2 against Toledo and Week 2 against Ball State, they found a way to win those games, Chris.
Yeah, Notre Dame last week was a definitive win for Marcus Freeman, and now this could be perhaps a definitive loss. It's a huge loss. It would probably be the biggest loss of the Marcus Freeman era, and they're saying it is 4th and 1. So
field goal unit is
The field goal unit is on for Northern Illinois, and the game is really on the line here, Ryan.
Yep, game on the line,
Wow.
Chris. You got it.
Heart is racing. Cannon Woodle to take the kick here for NIU from Plainfield, Illinois. And the kick is up. And the kick is good from Cannon Woodle. So it's 16-14 now with 30 seconds to go. Cannon Woodle straight down the middle of the uprights, and that was a huge kick. And Northern Illinois has taken the lead against a Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and just an absolute shocker of a game thus far.
With 31 seconds left.
Yeah. With
And you know what you
31
think of, Chris? And I was wrong. I thought that missed field goal at the end of the first half would be inconsequential. Boy, was I wrong. Irish hit that field goal. They are still in the lead of this ball game right now. By a point, but they're in the lead. None of that happened.
That is a great point. They would have to go for a touchdown there, Ryan.
And it's worthless saying if, right? But,
Yeah.
man, little things.
Little
and
things.
little things become big things. And that will be the story of the Marcus Freeman era if this score holds.
Yeah, and losing to NIU is just a punch straight into the gut, especially after the biggest win of the Marcus Freeman era away from home against a ranked opponent, a ranked SEC opponent with 107,000 people watching on. And so now the kickoff here.
Wow.
For NIU is about to take place. Jaden Harrison is back to receive, a former All-American kick returner. And we're going to see if Notre Dame can make a miracle happen. They really just need to get into field goal range and then just send up a prayer. Well, we have 30 seconds left, 31 seconds left on the clock. And this would be the biggest win in NIU's history as a college football program. So the kick is up. And whistles are blown.
Took a
Timeout
timeout
from
before.
Northern
Check
Illinois
it.
before a kickoff. Never seen that one before.
Wow.
And it looks like Thomas Hammock just wants to go over
Well,
something else just to make sure that they have the right play for special teams here. Maybe do a squib to get some time running down. But he just wants to make sure this ball is in play and the Irish have to waste some time.
scoring play for NIU, 11 plays, 31 yards, 5 minutes and 24 seconds. They've put together multiple drives like that, and you know what? The Irish have only put together one. One.
Yeah, the first drive of the game for Notre Dame, it looked so good. Riley Leonard using his legs, marching down the field, and since then,
Every single other one, 3 minutes or less.
yeah, we haven't really seen much from this Notre Dame team, offensively and defensively. A couple of blown coverages, as we saw with the Ontario Brown 83-yard touchdown. The Notre Dame defense just bit. They got a little too antsy, and they paid the dividends for it in the backfield. So now the kick is up, and yep, it is a squib kick to waste some time here. And Jaden Thomas receives, trying to find something, goes to the right side. Jaden Thomas is going, 40-yard line. And he stopped just shy of it, actually, but he gets some good yardage. I'll tell you what, if Jaden Harrison returned that, man, oh, man.
Yeah, you would have saw the roof didn't.
This place would have blown up.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have a roof, but the roof would have been blown
Oh,
off.
yeah. Yeah. 24 seconds left.
24
First and 10
seconds
from the
left.
37. The only deep shot Notre Dame's taken all season has been picked off. What are we going to see?
I think I could see a screenplay, actually, just to get some yardage.
Got to get out to the sidelines. Got to get Mitch Jeter a chance. Mitch Jeter, we've seen his boot. He won the game, or was part of the winning of the game at Texas A&M, right?
Yeah, so three receivers lined up to the right. Riley Leonard from the 37-yard line has Jeremiah Love to the right side of him. Leonard drops back. Now he steps up into the pocket. Pressure's applied. He throws it. Oh, looking for Jaden Thomas on the far side of the field, who dives for it. But the pass goes out of bounds. Incomplete. So now it's 2nd and 10 with 19 seconds left, and hopes are becoming dire here at Notre Dame Stadium.
Leonard had time there. That's somewhat encouraging, but of course you don't want him to take up all that time, right?
Yeah, a lot of time chewed up on that
Just
play.
19 seconds left.
Looking for a quick pass, just get out of bounds. And now, again, similar setup. 3 receivers to the left. Leonard looks back, and he's looking that way. Across the field, has a man. Chris Mitchell. Huge play. He cuts into the center of the field from the left side.
They need one play.
And now with 11 seconds, time's running. Spike the ball. They do with 9 seconds left. So they need one big play.
I
Preferably
think
get out of bounds. Maybe they have 2 in them, but it's going to be tough, Ryan, because if the
right now this is a 60-something yard field goal.
If the time ticks, then they're going to need to spike it and get to the line very, very quickly. Now, this is where you wish you had Brandon Aubrey, who was on the Notre Dame men's soccer team.
Well,
First and 10 Notre Dame from the 44-yard
Mitch
line.
Jeter's going to be the next Brandon Aubrey. Now's the time
We
to show
sure
it.
hope so. I mean, he played at Arsenal, for crying out loud. No reason why he can't. Now, with 4 receivers split out equally to the right and left from the center of the field is Riley Leonard on the 44, 2nd and 10, 9 seconds left to go, play clock running down. Leonard takes a snap, drops back, rolls to the right, pressure is applied, looking for Mitch Evans on the right side of the field, who did a little curl route, and he can't find him. Incomplete. And now with 5 seconds left, it's one quick play for the Irish.
They're going to go for
maybe
the field goal.
I think they might. They're going. I was thinking Hail Mary would be a better bet.
Let's listen. I can't even do the math at how long of a field goal this is. He's on the other side of the monogram right now. They're calculating it.
44. You're looking at a 64-yard kick, or a 66-yard kick even. This would be a huge kick here from Mitch Jeter.
This is it, folks.
To win the game with 5 seconds left from their 44-yard line. Mitch Jeter, and it's blocked again. It's blocked again. It's deja vu for NIU, and the Huskies coming to South Bend and win, and it's heartbreak for Notre Dame. The number 5 Notre Dame falls 16-14 to the NIU Huskies, and as a journalist, you're never told to say words can't describe it. Words really can't describe what just happened here in Notre Dame Stadium. It's despair.
Unfortunately, it's becoming all too familiar to describe. I mean,
second week versus a mid-major opponent. You've talked about it, Ryan. We've seen it before, and this is just brutal.
Congratulations to NIU. I mean, they played. Yep. They played one heck of a game.
They did.
They came in with a game plan. They executed the game plan. And they were the better team today. I mean, it felt to me like Notre Dame didn't come in with much of a game plan. And I know Marcus Freeman's one of his 3 tenets to the gold standard is challenge everything. I mean, there's a lot that's got to be challenged here. More than everything. It's not possible, right? NIU gathering down in the field to our left. Notre Dame, a disconsolate alma mater down to our right. But for all the NIU fans, the band that came out today, what an afternoon, huh?
What an afternoon for NIU. Their biggest win since going down to Alabama many, many moons ago and upsetting the Crimson Tide 19-16 way back in the day. And this is a huge win for this program. Thomas Hammock is becoming one of the greatest coaches in NIU history. He's one of the greatest runners, right alongside Ontario Brown. He was a running back in the day. And speaking of Ontario Brown, just shout out to him. He had a phenomenal day. And if NFL teams didn't know about number 1 on NIU, well, now they do.
To put a point on that, highest ranked opponent NIU has ever defeated was Maryland, ranked number 15. And they did that at home. They went on the road and just beat the number 5 team in the country.
Yeah.
It's historic. The biggest win in NIU history.
This is. And for Notre Dame, this is almost a reset. Notre Dame fans thought that this was the year where they were finally elite, and there was so much energy and hype built around the program. People raving, of course, about Marcus Freeman, the energy he brought in College Station. And this week, what went wrong?
What went wrong is a loaded question, and I think Notre Dame coaching staff and the guys that get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
You know what? I think they're going to spend a long time trying to figure this out, Chris.
Yeah,
because this is not the first time. And it just didn't seem like they had a game plan. And when you look at where Notre Dame is situated, we were all aware of the schedule, that Notre Dame had a very thin tightrope, even with a 12-team playoff. Sitting here today, it's hard to make sense of. And for those who, and Marcus Freeman has a lot of supporters in this place, and rightfully so, he has done a lot of things right. I mean, he has done a lot of things right. He has embraced this place. He's embraced the team has embraced him. But this is crushing and is a blot on his tenure that
you got to win out now. There's no excuse. And even if you do win out, college football playoffs, 12 teams, maybe Notre Dame squeaks in, but all of a sudden it is an uphill battle. Considered the easiest path to the playoffs in all of college football this week. People were talking about that everywhere. Notre Dame, now it's a cakewalk. That's what they said until they get to USC in the last game of the season. And all of a sudden now it is a very, very uphill battle for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah. And this is the third, I mean, I'm not saying that the season is over, but the season is in jeopardy in early September. Last year it was over after Louisville in the first week of October. 2 years ago, it was over in early September after Marshall. Notre Dame fans want a team that makes a deep run. You know, that's what's going to prop you up as a head coach. That's going to prop you up as a program.
And I think with recruiting, too, Texas A&M was such a big win, and all of a sudden it's back to square zero. Recruits want to go to programs that win the big games, that, of course, are on TV all the time. And obviously not an issue with Notre Dame because of the deal, but still, I mean, it's huge. It's huge, and this could definitely shift some tides there.
I'll give you my last thought. The season is on life support. It's not over. For the most hopeful of us, for us who cover the team, the fans of the team, want to see the team do well. It's not over, but it is on dire, dire life support, and there may be more for all the good that Marcus Freeman has done. His reputation is on life support too.
Yeah, it's definitely tarnished here at Notre Dame Stadium. I agree with you here.
To avoid any overgeneralizations, overreaction, right? Like, I don't want to be reactionary. You don't want to be reactionary either, but
no, it's nothing even personal. I mean, Marcus Freeman embodies what Notre Dame's all about. But at the end of the day, you got to win games and you got to beat NIU if you're at Notre Dame. So again, see how this season plays out. If Notre Dame does get into the playoffs, great. Definitely not at home now.
We talked about off the open about them making history this season and making history in the stadium. They're on the wrong side of history today.
Indeed they are. It's a tough pill to swallow here at Notre Dame Stadium. The stands are just absolutely empty now. NIU, their section, staying strong, and it is one of the all-time big upsets that Notre Dame has ever been on the receiving end of. And NIU, we talked about this, such a big win for their program today, a huge win, and again, NIU is the better team today, and you've got to give nothing but respect and credit to the brand of football they put out there. Very creative play calling, and they know their stars, they used their stars, and they got the job done.
They absolutely did. Congratulations to NIU. Final score here, NIU by a field goal over Notre Dame.
Yeah, well, Chris Dailey with Ryan Murphy.
It's been a pleasure, Chris.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Ryan. First ever broadcast. I'm very, very grateful to work with you and everybody here at Notre Dame Media in my first 2 weeks on campus. It's really just been a dream start, and I mean, this, sort of made it not a nightmare, but,
This particular episode, I think, is fair to clarify as a nightmare. I told you, when we walked in here today, but even before that, my first Notre Dame football game was Marshall. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry that your class has to share the same fate that my class did with this was the first memory, but
maybe it's only fair. Maybe not. I wouldn't say so.
No.
I wouldn't wish it on any other class, but
yeah. But it is, history has a funny way of repeating itself.
Yeah, and I was always told history doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. And
It rhymes.
And it definitely rhymed today.
The rhyme scheme was strong today.
Yeah.
Most certainly.
Yeah,
well said.
A shout out to my history teacher in high school, Mr. McCarthy, who would always say that one every class. But Ryan, it's been an absolute pleasure to call my first ever football game alongside you here at Notre Dame Stadium. And, I mean, with all the games you call this season, the best of luck. And for Notre Dame, just hoping they could put a better brand of football on the field than the one we saw today, getting the passing game going, because these first two games, even against Texas A&M, not very existent. And, of course, with the running game, just to keep that going. The defense, not too many worries about the secondary, but just rushing the quarterback, everything just needs to be sharper and done at a higher level. I think Notre Dame will turn it around. I'm confident in Marcus Freeman's ability to lead this pack of men. However, it'll be very, very interesting to see how this season plays out.
Certainly will. Be back on the call 3:30 p.m. from Purdue next Saturday. Ben Rohr, Tyler Reedy, and myself will have the call for you from Purdue. Be sure to tune in. It'll be a fascinating chapter, just as this one has been.
Yeah, well, thank you so much again, Ryan, and everybody involved here at WVFI, all the people behind the scenes working tirelessly for us so we have this opportunity. Ryan, again, it's been an absolute pleasure.
You as well, Chris.
Yeah.
Same here.
Well, thank you so much. And to everybody listening back on the internet airwaves, thank you so much for sticking with us throughout this one. It's a tough one, but as Ryan mentioned, we'll be back next week against Purdue. So thank you so much for listening. As always, go Irish. You are listening to WVFI Radio with Chris Dailey and Ryan Murphy, voice of the Fighting Irish.